See, Prokop looks. See that helps the bit.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Currently in an undisclosed location.
Aaron, you're telling me that we could walk around looking like that?
See that one? A little further.
Don't wear anything.
All right, boys, we're all set to record. Coop, whenever you want to go, sir.
Oh, is that a hell yeah.
Well, fuck you, Craig. Welcome back to the 100 and whatever.
Recording. The red light's flashing.
The 107th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Prokop, me, Cooper. Joining us today, very special guest. We got an important topic. This is the first ever Cooped Up Conspiracy. I was going to think of another C down there. Coffin? Cave? The Cooped Up Conspiracy Cave. Undisclosed location. In a bunker. We're wearing our tinfoil hats to protect from the 6G waves.
Tinfoil before we start recording, boys. I'm vulnerable.
Well, that's why Prokop's voice is all fucking crazy. He's got to hurry up, dude, because you got the 5. We hear about 5G, so you know they're already up to 9, and who knows what those waves do to you. This little fucking thing over here staring at me is a little fucked up. What is that thing over there, Prokop?
What thing? Oh, that's Umbreon. Don't make me say Pokemon shit. That little thing right there staring at you.
I'm actually pretty sure that's a satanic sex cult symbol. If I'm placing that correctly.
Well, that was how we're going to start the conspiracy off. Is that we think Prokop is secretly he's a long-term plant, I think. I think the CCP noticed that we have potential to be the next far-right looking what was it? Right pipeline?
Alt-right pipeline.
The alt-right. We're the gateway to the alt-right pipeline. Ben Shapiro has been exposed, so they're gonna start making us on YouTube the alt-right pipeline. So the CCP took a long-term plan out and got Prokop in on the grassroots level, dude, to start the tinfoil in the mic's gonna be great. Dude, but anyway, joining us, former CIA agent Mike Massaro, dude. Thank you for joining us, dude. The king of conspiracies. Best conspiracy we had on Cooped Up.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. I gotta tell the American people what's really going on down here in this Chinese... The Chinese flag is a dead giveaway. You guys can't see it, but right behind the camera, there's a huge Chinese flag hanging. There's a big picture of Chairman Mao. I don't know why. It's...
We got... He had the Soviet national anthem playing when we came in as well.
I'll gladly sell my soul to the communists if it means we can get this
podcast off the ground.
They're not gonna like me at all.
I would love to be whatever anybody needs us to be for money. Speaking of money, before we start off, sponsoring us today are these special magnesium pills that thwart off demons, bring the power of Christ to you, and also protects you from the New World Order vaccine mandates. You do not need vaccines or medicine if you take Cooped Up's magnesium pills that you can buy. They come in a tin like a Zin. That's what they are. You might be like, oh, Cooper, these are Zins. These are Zins you sent me in the mail.
No, they're citrus.
They're not. Yeah. These are citrus magnesium pills from Norwegia. It's a special colony in Norway.
Special colony.
The orange. The last stab hit a little harder than the rest of them. Anyway, we're doing a conspiracy episode. That's what this is, if you haven't caught on yet. You didn't get the bit by the intro. I hate the fucking in-person. We haven't done an in-person one in a little bit, so that's what's getting me a little bit. But anyways, we're also eating party mix, which has also been proven.
To protect your liver lining. Liverkin's been talking about it.
The liver lining.
Steroids protect the liver lining.
That's true.
That's why you got to pair it with the liver. Otherwise, you don't get the protection you need.
I'm on steroids right now.
Dude, you got to be on a healthy dose of steroids if you're going to live. We also sell steroids online. Use our promo code Cooped Up Combos - better than Liver King to get our steroids. Anyways.
All right.
I keep looking at Aaron, which is my mistake, and he's like... Okay, let's start off with Mike. First off, show your bag that you brought with the notes and stuff on the side. It really... So he knows what he's talking about.
This might be mostly Mike telling me and me arguing.
I have a lot of documents in here that are gonna show you guys. I don't know. This is a real deep dive. It's
I'm really interested to see this deep dive. As you can see, he brought all these documents that are formerly classified, now declassified thanks to Snowden.
So most of this, most of what I'm going to talk about is you guys. So there was a story in the news a while ago about the I think it was like 2020. A bunch of people in Michigan tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan, right? You guys remember this? So then it starts to turn out that like most of the people in this group work for the FBI, and in particular, like the one guy who organized it was arrested on like a felony gun charge, and then did some time, was released early. And then all of a sudden ends up like he's from out of state, ends up in this group, and he's working for the FBI the whole time, and he starts planning meetings and organizing them. His name's Steve Robeson. I have some stuff about him that we could pull up, but he's got like this long ass criminal record, and they're basically like you know when they take a criminal and they flip him and they're like, hey, we want information, so they send this guy in there and he starts trying to organize shit. And then they find out that he's like actively actually trying to organize this plot. He's not just playing around. He's playing both sides of it. So they start disavowing him like it protects them from responsibility. Like in the court documents where there were so of the four people that actually are just like people they're trying to convict of the crime.
Just Michigan people, yeah. 2
of them were found not guilty, and the other 2 had a hung jury. It was split. They couldn't decide. They're back on trial again right now. And it doesn't look like it's like, and the lawyers are basically saying this was an FBI plot that you know, sort of. So I thought that was hilarious because it's just like clearly a poorly executed, you know, thing. So I started researching, is this something the FBI just does? Do they They do. Job, I think. And so like and it goes back. I don't know if like during the period after 9/11, there were 2 like noteworthy ones. There was Liberty City 7, I think was the first one. So the Liberty City 7, they're these Muslim construction workers who live down in Miami, and they had this religious group. Called the Universal Divine Saviors, and so they get arrested and charged with terrorism related activities. They're in so the what's it called? I forget what his name is. Like the Justice Department guy who's like leading the thing goes on TV and he's like, we cracked the great. If you pull up like Liberty City 7 on Wikipedia, it's a good place to start. And then I have a couple articles I could send you.
Wikipedia is a credible source for this podcast. Before you question us.
So basically, they had no connection to Al Qaeda. They had no weapons, no explosives, no reconnaissance on the Sears Tower. That was the plan, was to blow up the Sears Tower, and no consistent ideology of violence. The evidence against them was just words of intent, which basically they had an informant in this group, and they're telling him, get them to talk about how they intend to do something. So he starts pitching stuff. Well, what do you think about blowing up the Sears Tower? And they're like, yeah, that could be cool. Like we could blow up the Sears Tower. Well, that's the thing. In a lot of cases, it became clear that they were like entrapment happened, right? Like there's a great look back at it. The Intercept published actually in 2021.
No pictures? Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So
we need some visual.
So back in 2021,
these guys were gonna blow up
the Sears Tower.
These guys,
I like how the drum is echoing everybody's voice.
Well, that's what everyone said is like this is kind of ridiculous. They have no like what's his name here? British intelligence director Dan Reed is someone they interviewed for this article on the Intercept. Which can I forward this to you if you want to pull it up?
Yeah.
Or if you want to Google it, you can.
Are you on our Discord, Mike?
I think he is.
Yeah. It's going to take me a minute to sign into that.
See, this is obvious already to me.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, because
I'm setting the framework for.
Yeah, it was like separate. I remember watching the Vice documentary, and they just would take special needs kids, hand them like a pop brownie, and then arrest them. Yeah. That's as far as they're going.
Yeah. Oh,
well, dude. it's like it's the same thing with like all the drug dealers and stuff when the crack epidemic was happening. Like half of them were working for the government. It's like, hey, doesn't seem like you're helping the situation at all. And plus, you're just having people commit crimes for you. Like, I don't know but it's the same thing with like some of the school shooters.
No,
like, half of them have been visited by the FBI and stuff like that. It's like, hey,
the entire war on terror has been us just like finding like strange kids in the Middle East and strapping bombs to them and pointing them and being like, hey, you go that way. They can't even know what he's doing.
Osama bin Laden was a guy who like who was super against the United States involvement in the Middle East, and then the CIA funded him, gave him weapons to fight the Russians, and then he goes out of control, and it's like, oh, you know, what happened? He attacked us? Like what? Us?
And Saddam's the same thing. Yeah. It's like, oh well, you'll harass Iran, and then we'll also give Iran money, and you'll harass Saddam, so you guys will stay busy. When one of you dies, we get that oil, baby. We get that oil.
Oh yeah.
The conspiracy I always wanted to bring up was the conspiracy that Osama bin Laden was definitely dead way before 2011. That's the one I've always been interested in because he apparently had like liver issues and stuff for like a long time, liver or kidney issues, like seriously medically impaired. And if he was like living in a cave without medical attention, like there's no way.
Cave, though. He was in
I know
he was in a compound.
Yeah, I know, but like that's the other thing. How the fuck was he in a compound in Pakistan?
He was being sheltered.
But he was on the same street. I think we knew where he was forever, but we couldn't justify being in Afghanistan without him being alive.
Yeah,
because once he died, like that was kind of like everyone's like, all right, like what are we doing here? And that's when it kind of started.
We were there for another decade.
Another decade.
We just took 10 years.
Are we sure we got him?
But yeah, I watched a documentary about like how the war on terror, and they had these guys who that they literally just picked up in the street because they were in like groups like in the Middle East, like weren't even involved in terror or anything like that. They would just drive up in vans, scoop you, and then send you to Guantanamo, and then they would torture you and be like, "We'll stop the torture if you tell us stuff." And then they got stuff, and then you can't. How is that credible information? And it was like someone, I think it was the guy Barr or whatever, the guy who was with Trump too, the
William Barr.
Yeah, that guy. He was talking about. He's like, well, it was good. It was good. We tortured him. Like, I watched the whole documentary. He was justified. He's like, it's credible information, and it's like, there's no way because all these guys were like, I wasn't involved in literally anything. And they scooped me up. But anyway, going back to the FBI. Go ahead.
So
City 7.
So say the Liberty City 7 is an example of this. I'm just using this to lay the groundwork for sometimes when they do this, it goes wrong. Sometimes when they do this, they don't stop the people and arrest them before the plot ever happens.
Oklahoma City.
Exactly. Oklahoma. What do you guys know about the Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh?
Wasn't he a part of MK Ultra?
Guy, right?
Wasn't he an MK Ultra?
We basically
that was Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber.
Can I say what I know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is I know that we basically let him run around with white nationalists freely.
Yep.
For like decades.
Yep.
Planning it. Going to these compounds, planning it, going to that compound, planning it, right? Like
it goes further than that.
Yeah, see, that's what I know the base. Like, this wasn't...
So the base knowledge is already, like,
bad.
You should ask questions. You should ask some questions
This was on, like, some, like, left liberal podcast I listened to.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now. I'm going to have to put, like, the biggest, like, disclaimer at the beginning of this. Like, a big red alarm and be like...
We're wearing tinfoil hats and we're asking questions, first off. We're not saying this is...
I'm providing answers.
Mike is a former CIA agent, so we're curious about what Mike is talking about.
Former CIA agent, current CIA asset.
He's an asset, yes. He currently
I'm here doing exactly what the FBI does.
Right now.
Yeah.
He's currently in the comedian cell because there's a few people that if they don't start getting booked.
Timothy McVeigh.
I look like
Doing his best.
Yeah.
Mike's really trying to get some of these people booked so they don't plot terrorist attacks.
Saving this country one day at a time.
So you know we're brainwashed.
Open mic stand-up comedians are the most dangerous people on the planet. I'm telling you, that's my conspiracy.
There were
5 minutes for me at the Capitol.
I guarantee you there was some stand-up comedians who were at the Capitol. I guarantee you there's a few open mic comics from some of these places that
certainly were.
I actually heard the guy who wore the buffalo hat, whenever he left his mom's basement, he was actually at open mics in Phoenix. Anyway, so Oklahoma City. So how deep does this go?
Okay, so yes, there are a lot of claims that
yes.
that the U.S. let this happen, and that's because during hold on, wait, I want to pull up the right link here. So this is an article from I pulled it up on JSTOR. It's from the New American Journal, and it's called PatCon, the FBI's secret war against the Patriot movement, and how its infiltration tactics. So if you can search PatCon by J.M. Berger, Berger. It is open sourced on JSTOR, so you should be able to read it even if you don't have a login. And if you do, just text one of your friends who goes to college and has like an active ID, and they'll be able to get access to JSTOR most likely.
What is it, PatCon?
All one word, PatCon, and then the author is J.M. Berger.
J.M. Berger. Any relation to R.J. Berger?
There you go.
The big dick guy?
So basically what this is about is
Yes, that's where it gets interesting.
J.R. Berger.
J.M. Berger.
J.M. Berger.
Yes, sir. J.M. Berger. Sorry.
This one?
Yep, that one right there. The FBI's secret war against the Patriot movement.
All right.
Ooh. JSTOR is a credible source.
This is a journal article published in New America in May 1st in 2012. So what this is about is basically during the 90s, the Justice Department wanted to target right-wing militia groups throughout the U.S. because they were cropping up.
Yeah.
So they formed this thing called PatCon, and this task force and project essentially was basically they created fake right-wing movements, and then they would reach out to real right-wing groups as friends, like, hey, we like the work we like the work you're doing.
Big fans of your work.
Yeah, exactly. We want to work with you. So in particular, during the so this talks a lot about how and this is one of the things I'm challenging about the official narrative. This and the next article I'm going to pull up both say that McVeigh never came across like one of these agents essentially. So he just mysteriously wove by the radar. And the issue with that is that one of the movements that they talk about here in particular, I believe it was the Texas, where is it? The Texas Light Infantry. The Texas Light Infantry formed in the 1980s with the stated goal of serving as a volunteer force during emergencies. It maintained battalions in different parts of the state. So in 1990, they start. It's on page 7. They start branching out into becoming like a paramilitary survivalist organization. So this is one of the groups that is contacted by the FBI's people, right? The FBI's interest in specific TLI members was primarily motivated by their association with Louis Beam. This is on page 8, an infamous radical ideologue living in Austin. So if you go down here, where the hell was it? And again, these guys are like all white supremacists, people, all the regular members of these militias for the most part. So they're active, not great people. But then the FBI is sort of saying, oh, are they stockpiling weapons? Is this going on? And where's the Paranoid Times section? They start talking. So from its genesis, the proposed alliance between CMA and TLI's extremist clique. When CMA hosted a convention in Posey, hometown Decatur, Alabama, members of Texas Light Infantry were there. So these groups that they'd planned on infiltrating, one of them is like a pistol and rifle club. They start to get suspicious that some of the members are feds, and so they kick out a couple people. So one of the people that they kick out is this guy. His name is
really getting the facts, people.
Andreas Strassmeer. His name is
Heard
Andreas
him.
Strassmeer.
This is a name.
Andreas,
he was from Germany, right?
Yep. So okay. He was born in 1959. He's a German national, and he was this is the Wikipedia entry. This is also information that is sourced from that's from IMDb, which is really interesting. And this one's from the AP. Former ATF informant ruffles edges of Oklahoma bombing investigation. So the ATF informant, this former ATF informant, is this German national. So there's this woman, right, who lives. Her name's Miss Howe. I forget what her first name is. Miss Howe. Yeah, there's an AP article sourced in the Wikipedia thing that you can look at from February 23rd, 97. So this is 2 years after the bombing. So what happens is this lady calls, she's calling from this place, Elohim City in Oklahoma, which is like a white Aryan separatist, like, you know, like sort of like enclave. And she's like, hey, there's this guy here. His name's Strasser. He keeps saying that he pulled off the Oklahoma City bombing with these other guys and they got away with it. And he said it's because of his relationship with the government. And so you start looking into him. So he comes from a German family. His father was the chief of staff to German Chancellor Helmut Kohl. I don't know who that is, but his grandfather was also a co-founder of the Nazi Party. He studied at a military university in Hamburg, went on to serve in the German army in 1979. After he resigned, he moved to Washington, D.C. to pursue a career within the Department of Justice. So, according to him, the way he got the job, which was he reached out to this guy, Vincent Petruski, who was a retired U.S. Air Force colonel that apparently knew his dad when he was stationed in Berlin. He used to refer to him colloquially as the former CIA guy my father knew. So he gets him a job. The guy says, yes, I found him a job. I have no connection to the CIA, which is exactly what someone in the CIA would say.
You and Mike, because Mike will know.
And if I was in the CIA, and
we all got the memo.
So
I mean, Mike got the memo. I mean,
so he's down in Elohim City, and apparently there are phone calls made in the weeks leading up to the bombing to Elohim City from Timothy McVeigh. So that's one thing. They start using him to link to it. And then that's like, okay, whatever. He made a couple phone calls to this city. It's a white Aryan cult. The guy's like a white nationalist, whatever, right? But then, so Strasmer, there's a lot of other weird things that we're going to get into here. But Strasmer also, there's an affidavit filed in the lawsuit, U.S. versus Timothy McVeigh, by him. He met Timothy McVeigh at a gun show where McVeigh used to sell firearms and he used to sell T-shirts. And
this was his big thing.
Yeah.
Was selling T-shirts.
The reason apparently he did it all was because apparently he thought the guns would be taken away.
Yeah,
right?
Because in 1994 they passed the assault weapons ban.
Yes, that's where it all comes from. Yes.
And also he watched so this is the other crazy thing about McVeigh. He watched the Waco thing in 94 on TV.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys know about Waco, the ATF killed like a whole bunch of people. They definitely were responsible for that fire.
Yes.
That's undoubtable.
Yeah.
So it's like he watches this on TV with his other buddy. He's like, it's Nichols, who's the co-conspirator. He's like, it's game on. This is what it is. So they go down there during the siege before like that happens, and he's handing out pamphlets outside the thing, and he's saying the government is waging a war on the people, like it's time for a revolution. And in the pamphlets, he published the address of a federal agent, which is the guy leading the investigation, the ATF guy, and he published his home address and said, I want someone to kill this guy at the site of the fucking thing, and nobody noticed. And then a week later, then there's two affidavits to talk about this. He meets Andreas Strasmer at a gun show. And Andreas Strasmer says, hey, man, I'm a sympathizer. I understand what you're going through. We're going to become friends. I have a compound out in Elohim City. Come visit me sometime. This guy is the government asset that is the link. So what they did with Michigan, they tried to do the same thing with him. And in this case, McVeigh actually pulled something off before they stopped him, right? Or before they arrested him or whatever. So then they disavow all knowledge. And here's where it starts to get crazy, because a lot of this evidence comes out.
Do you know what?
I don't want to jump ahead, but are you getting to the part where McVeigh splits off from this German guy and starts going rogue, and the German guy's like, oh, fuck it?
Well, so that's the thing, though, is the German guy also, they're not...
Or is he like...
They're not sure if he... Like you were saying with Michigan, right? That they were like actually like...
He was a lost asset.
Exactly. We just read about this guy.
The Nazi connection.
He's...
See, I want to...
Just because you let someone out of jail early doesn't mean they're going to 100% be
I'm glad you brought that up, because when I'm listening to like the media, whatever, like talk about this thing, they're talking about that Strasberg guy. And my first thought is like literally just how the hell is he in America. Like it's just so casual. They're just like, oh,
So his
this
dad was
German
a
guy
Nazi.
who's like a Nazi and it's kind
His,
of like
his grandfather
like a good human.
co-founded the Nazi party.
was
And
like-
he just
he was
is like
high up.
existing. He's just
Probably-
existing
did he-
in America, running around, getting like. And I was like, just clearly, no one just answered how he just is suddenly freely moving to the United States.
Well, because at the end of the day, dude, like whenever you put one of these assets in there, I feel like
you gotta
think
find
that-
an asset that
like-
you gotta look the part to act the part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but when you find these people who act the part because they kind of believe in the part,
Yeah.
I feel like the only risk of them going back to jail might not be enough to keep them on your side.
Which is exactly the problem here. So I'm looking at this other. So there's a bunch of documents here. This one's marked as declassified. It is a. I can.
Thank you, Snowden.
I don't know how to pull this one up without just sending you the link. Do you guys ever post like do you guys ever can you post like links with this when you post it?
Yeah, we should do
All right,
that.
so what I'll do is I will email the trove of links to them. You guys can post them all and we'll title them. So this one we're gonna call
And if you wanna, were you able to get on Discord or is that not?
no, it's
Dude,
I'm
we're gonna
not
be
gonna be
on the
able to. I don't know
pipeline
what my
now if we're not
password shit
already.
is, and it's gonna.
It's behind
So
Well, we're not in the pipeline. We're anti-white nationalism
I'll give you-
and
yeah, that's
anti
perfect.
and anti the government
I'll
helping
do that in a second.
create acts of terror, which the government clearly does.
Yeah.
Joey, talking to fucking Mike.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
So they put in a check.
He doesn't want to be on the record.
So the federal government put an intelligence check into the German embassy about. I mean, it's some of this is redacted, but about
Technically, all this. No, I was kidding.
about a German national in the like a police intelligence check looking for a record like the month of the Oklahoma City bombing, which is when I assume after it happened you'd figure out that he was rogue.
Yeah.
But then there's also questions of like maybe he wasn't rogue either, and like one of the thoughts of the Oklahoma City bombing, and this is where it kind of diverges a little bit, is actually we can keep talking about Strasmere before I get into that because I want to. So let me see. There's an affidavit that he April 9th is the date of it, or no, April 28th, excuse me. The investigation was sparked April 27th, and
The bunker.
pull up the affidavits. In the affidavit, he talks about the Tulsa gun show is where I met the man identified as McVeigh. It was held in the spring of '93, perhaps late April or May. This is just a few weeks after the fire destroyed the center in Waco, Texas. I remember because the media had come to Elohim City immediately after the fire to ask for comments on the Waco tragedy. So during this gun show, I stopped by a table with a man later identified to me as McVeigh, who was selling figures and military clothing. By the way, some of the clothing he used to sell too, he used to sell ATF and DEA, or no, ATF and FBI hats with bullet holes in them at the gun shows.
This guy is.
At the gun shows.
Yeah.
How did he acquire these, or was he putting the bullets there?
He's probably just
himself?
poking holes in
design.
them.
It's probably designed.
Yeah.
Just because he's a
He put
white
him on a-
nationalist doesn't mean he's a creative guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he.
He might not be artsy.
I mean, clearly with Kanye West. So.
God.
So there's this whole other thing about another accomplice, right? Other than Nichols
Yes, I've heard this.
and him. So here's where it starts to get weird.
So who are the guys again? We've got
All right,
McVeigh
so-
is the main guy, but Nichols, this German guy,
Timothy
and then
McVeigh,
there's
Nichols, Andy the German, or Andy Strasberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then there's this fourth guy.
Strasmere, yeah, and then there's this other unidentified person who's like from the day of, allegedly, they're unsure what his name is. McVeigh said that so there's this guy Kenneth Michael Trentadue. Kenneth Michael Trentadue was in a federal prison for a bank robbery, totally unrelated, but one of the people they wanted to question in relation to the Oklahoma City bombing was in the same federal prison. So, and Trentadue and this guy apparently look almost identical. So on this day, Trentadue gets found hanged in his cell, covered in blood, beaten to a pulp. He's got stab wounds and
Suicide.
Yes. It was ruled a suicide. But
Oh my god.
so there's a video.
Make that shit up, dude.
There's a video I have to find, but I want to send a link to.
Yeah.
There's a TV interview with the chief medical examiner from the prison saying this guy had clearly been murdered. I wanted to investigate it as a murder, and nobody would let me in the room. And I was locked out of the room, and there were agents stationed out there. Nobody would let me in, and then it got ruled a suicide by the guy they brought in. And that was it. And he's like, and I don't know what to make of that. So, so Kenneth Michael Trantadu's brother is a lawyer, and his name is let me pull his name up. His name is
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. No, that's the wrong article. Kenneth, because he said the Larry Potts thing is crazy too. We're gonna get to that. Here it is. Okay, so Jesse Trentadue basically sues the FBI and the Federal Bureau of Investigations and the Oklahoma City field office, and as a testimony of the co-conspirator Nichols, so the guy who planned this whole thing with him. And this is his affidavit that was filed in the U.S. District Court. We're going to post this as well. So he goes, from the outset, I want to acknowledge my poor judgment and culpability in having assisted Timothy McVeigh to bomb the Alfred P. Murrah building in Oklahoma City, blah, 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 blah. So then he starts talking about FBI agent was present during the interview. In December 2006, Congress. So this guy, Congressman Robichaud, did a huge investigation into the Oklahoma City bombing as well. And the FBI and the Justice Department refused to participate in the investigation. So basically during his, so this is page 4 of the affidavit, paragraph 9, or paragraph 8, we'll start with, I cannot possibly discuss in this declaration all the information I have concerning the bombing and others involved. Crucial parts of this act remain hidden from the American people, especially the identities of the, quote, others unknown who collaborated with McVeigh in the bombing. There are others who assisted McVeigh whose identities are unknown to me, but there are 2 individuals who I believe to have been co-conspirators who will be named. Paragraph 9, one was acting as a government provocateur. That's our friend, I think, Strasmeyer.
Strasy boy.
Yeah, that is Andy the German.
That's the Berg.
The other was a high-ranking federal government official. Actually, maybe that one's Strasmeyer. I believe both men are now being protected by federal government in a cover-up. In December of '92, McVeigh told me that while he was serving in the U.S. Army, he had been recruited to carry out undercover missions. So this is the whole. This is a whole other thing that I'm not even exploring here. But so they steal a bunch of explosives. McVeigh goes to the gun show, and there they meet Andreas Strasmeyer. This is in paragraph 14. Strasmeyer says he'll provide a safe house if necessary. McVeigh in the summer of '93, they get more explosives. They're testing stuff in the desert. They're talking to him about it, and then he goes to another gun show, and then at that point, they get the idea for the nitrate bomb. Which there's a whole separate side of this that I didn't even get into about. There are 2 retired U.S. military weapons experts who submitted reports to the congressional investigation of their own accord that said there's no way this bomb could have caused this much damage with what you have released it to be in there.
Fertilizers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They're basically like a fertilizer bomb could never have done this, even with there's
a massive explosion.
It was huge.
How many people died?
And so
200.
168. Yeah.
It killed like a daycare too, right? That's what.
Yeah. And so this was the weird thing, right? Was
I forget about the details of this one all the time. It goes to the back.
It's a massive explosion. Like I remember seeing the side of the building.
So
That's because they don't want you to think about it, bro.
It's kind of like the Vegas one. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, that's another one.
Please, can we get into that?
I want to get into that one too.
So bad, yeah.
But
do you guys know about what's his name? So
are we still in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, we're still in Oklahoma City. So this explosion that happens. Do you guys know about Jaeger? I think is the cop's name.
No.
Who
is this?
I've heard that name.
Yeah. So this is also Oklahoma City. So one of the first responders. He's this cop. I think his name's Christopher Yeager. He runs in, saves 4 people, and then a year later, the week before he's supposed to get a Medal of Honor for his heroism and make some speech at some thing or whatever, he ends up suicide in a field with cuts on his arms, and he also hanged himself.
Normal suicide activity.
Yes. I always stab myself.
I'm also pretty sure he was shot, if I'm not mistaken.
In the back of the head.
In the head. No, just once, but so he covered all his bases. The official story, is that it was survivor's guilt. The official story is that it was.
You're a cop. You know what I mean.
It was
you did the
or
thing
Yeeki. Yeeki, that's his name. So wait, what the fuck? There's also there was also grass in his wounds, which is an indicator that he was like beaten on the ground. Like
it makes sense.
And so in 1998 on AM 1300 KCAC radio, his wife gave an interview, and what she said was that he told me when he came back, Tanya, it's not what they're saying it is. They're not telling the truth. They're lying about this, about what's going on down there. She says this on the end. And this was after the suicide. So again, he's about to receive an award for his heroism and bravery in this big public thing. Dies the week before.
So my question, I have a question, and maybe you have the answer.
Yeah.
Is he implying he saw something? He walked in the building.
So what I think,
because I'm not sure how would he know. Like,
I again, this is not one I got too far into.
No,
But I think that has to do with like the explosives not matching up thing.
It was just like what the fuck.
Yeah,
he walks in, he
knows. When I was reading about this on like other like message boards and stuff and threads about this, a lot of people were saying like the reason that the reason that the explosive didn't happen the way he said it did is because there were explosives inside the building. And there were already
like
which
from underneath the ground
which is why I didn't even bother getting into that but I did like
what time we got. That's gonna be a whole hour.
Getting into the government provocateur shit is crazy. And so Trentadue sues. They end up settling the lawsuit with him for like I think they paid him like a couple $1 million or something like that for his brother's death, because basically they thought his brother was this other guy, and they beat him to death in custody, and they didn't get the right guy. And again, this is 1994. Oof. It's not you can't pull up a cell phone picture and like then that's it.
So I have a question: how are they so bad at making things look like suicides? Why would they beat him on the ground? Like, you know what I mean?
People fight back.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But it's like sedate them or something.
It's also easy to. It's kind of like easy to write off like people like if someone who does this kind of out there thing, and then it's like the guy who made the water car or whatever who like was found dead, shot twice.
Like why would they do
I think
it
realistically
twice?
it's because the only people who are going to talk about it are
people
like us.
Who put tinfoil
and so it's like you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like you don't need to hide it.
If you're spending money to kill somebody, you want them to do it right.
Well, yeah, but also like. At a point, I wonder
why the
free
market should help that out. I think.
I wonder why they
we
don't.
We should have better.
Why they don't,
hitmen.
Yeah, it's called PMC's.
Autopsy, I feel like you can
because they burn assets. It's the same reason they're using guys like Strasmere to set this shit up, is because like if everything goes wrong, they want to be like it did in Oklahoma City. They want to be able to say, we have nothing to do with this. There's no evidence that links us to doing this. There's a bunch of he said, she said. Yeah. There's this guy who's clearly a piece of shit that we use to do our thing, just like the guy in Michigan. Just like the whole point of it is you set up this sort of like easily collapsible house of cards, and then if it all goes sideways, you could shrug your shoulders and walk away because the guy would have done it anyway.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna prosecute him after. Like, and it's fucking insane. They're just justifying their own paychecks. That's the whole.
And that's how they did it to JFK. And
the
same recipe. It doesn't work. It starts getting stale. You know? Mom keeps.
Wait, I have a question.
Mix it up a little bit.
I have a question about Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
This one isn't too deep, but I do remember them mentioning on the podcast I heard that like the van was in like. It was like weirdly placed or something. Like it was just sitting there for fucking.
Yep.
And some random ass U-Haul truck was just sitting there for like 8 hours.
No, it was like 10 minutes from when he got there to when it exploded. But so he tried to drive into the parking garage below the building. And he didn't measure it. It was too tall for the parking garage. So he parked it right on the street, and then he had a fuse basically in the cab. that he lit from there, hopped out and ran out, and then
Well, that's the baby explosion.
that is exactly. That's the trigger. That was the,
how did he? Is he dead, McVeigh?
He was executed.
McVeigh was executed. You know who's alive though? Is the Unabomber.
Yeah, he was in Plymouth
Yeah,
County Jail.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
he is currently locked up in. I actually,
Both.
when I realized he was alive, I started writing him letters. In jail, because you can do that. So for like,
Get back to you?
yeah, he did actually, and that's
Oh
some
my
of what
God,
this is.
please.
So for like 3 months, so for like 3 months,
I had an MK
I-
Ultra. I had MK Ultra on my
This
list.
is
They,
funny.
Seriously.
and actually, guys, well, I was sad I couldn't get it in time. It's gonna have to wait till after the holidays, but I did. He did get back to me, and I was finally approved for a visit. So I'm gonna get to go down there and visit. They sent me
No
the
way.
address.
Serious?
Yeah, they sent me the address.
Ask him if he wants to come on the podcast.
That'd be pretty cool. It's
It'll be pretty cool.
Chat,
I
are you
actually
listening?
wanted to
Chat,
look
this
it up.
part is for you.
so,
Chat.
so it's at 7915. That's weird. It's at 7915 Microsoft Way, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm looking it up, and that's actually FBI headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I think I've been corresponding with the FBI this entire time. I think they.
Oh no.
I would imagine.
I think they just take their
That's
letters.
the first thing.
Or maybe that's.
Well,
what
did
they-
you say
the
anything a
lead-
little damning? Be honest.
I mean,
Cut this podcast now.
You have to share it. It's
We
all
are
good.
not assets.
I may have expressed
I believe you. I believe you.
the idea that he didn't go far enough, but you know, like.
Oh my god.
No, that's actually my favorite one. Is that the Unabomber not was right in his actions, but was right about like technology.
That's what a lot of
destroying the
people
world.
think.
Well, his
Yeah.
idea, yeah.
No,
his
but
ideas
But I
were wrong.
disagree with
Yeah,
all that.
like-
Do enough acid. I think.
What he did was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
What he did was wrong.
But
But what he was talking about,
I think both
Was
are wrong,
not.
but
Yeah.
that's
Have you
my
guys
take.
seen the,
I
you
don't
don't
agree
think
with- I don't
the
agree
tech-
with him.
What was
None
the
of it's
tech
real.
stuff?
This is not real.
I didn't.
It's
To be
fake.
fair, I didn't read the manifesto because I didn't want to be
None
on
of
the
it's
list.
real.
wait, you didn't?
No.
The Washington Post published it. You can read it online without getting on a watch list.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, actually, I'll
Yeah,
pull it
it's
up. I
not
have
that,
it here.
like,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
not-
dude. The second paragraph of it,
It's just unrealistic is kind of what it is.
he,
What is it? Well, but what's his like?
he,
Go back
yeah.
to Einstein.
Well, okay, well that stuff. But I'm saying like him
Well-
saying technology is going to take us over and ruin us.
I mean,
boys.
it will.
It,
Yeah,
no, it's
it
not
will.
though. See, that's my conspiracy
Like,
theory: is you
He's not
embrace,
wrong.
you embrace.
As the commie and the CIA agents placed next to each other.
That's
We are
wild. They
also
like set the
on
head.
the
Yeah.
same- We are also on the same team for the Unabomber. It was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, oh, he's spitting, but dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's got to be a weird Venn diagram with it.
A little too much. Yeah. Weird.
Joey and I embraced the technology
Oh my
takeover.
God.
It's going to be
I
good
mean,
for
we've
us.
already on the
I saw the
podcast.
light, so.
We've already bowed down to the AI.
Yeah, I
God,
think it's
so-
going to be good
Yeah.
for
Oh,
us.
record.
I
They
want
already
to ask you
approached
guys,
me.
have you guys seen the AI where it's like, this is what an AI created when it said human evolution? Have you seen that like TikTok?
No.
No.
Well, I'll pull it up, but it basically goes from apes to like techno
Humanoids.
like humanoids and then like patterns, which I guess is something like, oh, you're in the
Pull this up.
You're in
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Where-
Wait, hold on. I have to pee
We're up
really
for it.
But,
quickly.
dude, this guy showed up to an open mic the other night, dude, and
That's
goes,
what I thought,
all
yeah.
these jokes were written by AI. AI is the future. They will take over humans.
No, you-
AI, like, and he was like saying it like a robot. I'm like, this guy's an AI.
before I come back.
Dude, I was gonna
Get
say,
fucking
don't open
sniped.
that door.
See, I don't
blasted.
believe any of the like technology bullshit. Like, I think it's going to get better and better for humanity.
That's yeah.
That's
they
where I
were saying,
disagree.
Give us 15
Give us 15
years
more.
of
Like, AI is going to be good.
capitalism
All the
and we'll
AI
be
is going to
okay.
do is make humans
We
not
just
have to
gotta-
work
Hey,
anymore.
he's definitely gonna get arrested. So
He's not. I'm not doing anything.
We're
right
not-
I'm curious what he
part
wrote.
of it is-
I'm curious what he wrote in the letter.
This is like
This is
all this is with Mike. He's not going to get arrested. We're doing journalism,
Okay,
but
so
we're being safe with the tinfoil.
yeah.
Yeah, we got the
wait,
two
well,
full.
Mike will come back and where's my cursor?
But yeah, the one I definitely want to talk about too is Vegas because
Vegas
the Vegas
is
one is the
crazy.
wild
I don't
one.
have details like
I
that, but
I don't
I
have
know
to
like
pull up,
I've
but,
heard
just
some
the
things.
math doesn't add up.
I've
like
heard some
this,
things.
like what they said.
Are you
he
talking
used.
about it was like a gone bad? Have you heard that?
I've heard.
That's the one I wanna
I've
get
also
to.
heard that it was like a foreign thing.
Yes, people think it was like
like Saudis. Yeah.
a deal gone wrong. But I still don't get And that when we get into it though, there's still like they never explained the link to why you just shoot like. You know what I mean?
No,
like they don't explain that. They're like, oh, deal gone
because
wrong.
they said the house burned down. Like when the FBI took over the investigation, his house burned down, and like any manifest, like no manifesto.
Yeah, but still, I still don't get why. Like,
also, the fact that he was
60
able to
people were
carry
killed.
so many bags into the.
But
hotel.
I don't think too much into that because you can walk into a hotel with bags. No one would think
at
twice.
a point you'd be like, all right, this guy.
They had like no footage of that. Or,
No, they do.
No, they have footage of him walking in
Oh,
with his bags.
Oh wait, yeah.
We're
I don't know
around,
enough.
Guys.
Yeah.
I pulled up this AI.
Can we get funny?
Yeah,
I'm like scared. I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. The windows.
No, it's just Mike and the dogs.
No, I'm like I see something in the
You guys
window.
see- watching this stuff. It's a human evolution thing.
It's just like a guy from New York.
Again, he's just looking up human evolution online.
Yeah,
And
no,
this
that's
is
what I
what-
said.
My question
I
at this
love
point
this.
is why is this bad? No one's told me why it's bad.
They turn into lizard people.
Look, 'cause this is what you turn into. You turn into like a mechanoid.
It's like a David Bowie.
Yeah, but here's what I'm gonna say.
It's just a server.
We'll watch it one more time because Mike has seen it. But my idea is simply that this is what humans think of us, what we're gonna do right now. Based on this is what humans think. Because this is the art we put forward. All it can do is select from the art we put forward.
Yeah.
And if you don't want this, if you don't want this future, your art has to change, or the way your society reflects something has to change.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then that's what the Unabomber was saying. And I'm not saying that as
Oh
like,
my
oh,
You've had
I'm
people-
just like, I don't want to turn into mechanoid. Like, look
Yeah.
at that. Why do I want to be?
You're not. You're gonna be
I
dead.
like being a human.
You're gonna be dead. You're not gonna be patterns.
See, that's the thing. I think
Oh,
we're
yeah.
all gonna be humans.
I
Still.
agree.
I agree. Like at
That's
a,
part
at
of
a
this is the
point
best,
in, at
by
a
the way.
point in like the universe,
What?
it's gonna be like so crazy that like life won't be able to exist like as we know it. It'll be like light forms or whatever. So this could be what is technically a conscious form of life towards like 100 billion years in the future after like stars are starting to die out.
Wild.
Is what they've theorized. I'm into like
That's crazy.
I'm into the deep time shit. So this
Deep time shit.
no, because like
all gonna fucking
the whole
COVID
thing
twice.
is that like there's a basically a heat death of the universe, and it's not. It just fades out into nothingness for the longest time possible. And yeah, Joe should know this.
Yeah, Joe should know this.
Everything becomes heat eventually.
Yeah. Anyways, it's also like the place that the world is said to become, where it's supposed to be all the black holes have succumb on themselves and like
Sounds hot.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's dope. I'm a little aroused.
All the black holes come on themselves, and then there's like no sense of time or space. Space and time is no longer there, and it's like, oh, and then the Big Bang is said to have started in a place where there's no time or space. So it's like, is there a cyclical thing to it?
Probably.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think TikToks are in a way as well. When you die,
When I die, it's just TikTok.
So it's just gonna happen again.
You're just in a room on a bed
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
TikTok.
Not TikTok.
Wow.
Well, it
Unlimited
could happen
battery on your
anytime,
phone.
that's
That's
why
true.
we are-
I just like to lie down and watch TikTok.
Yeah. Anyways,
There's worse afterlives.
If heaven is literally
Oh,
just
yeah.
me lying in bed
Looking at TikToks.
looking at TikToks.
on
That's
an
kinda what I
on
wanted
a
to be.
heroin IV drip.
Yeah, that's
I don't
awful.
need
That sounds
literally, heaven is just an eternity of me
Oh.
sitting there smoking joints, watching TikTok
Have you
with
guys
no
seen,
stress. That's my heaven.
Was it? Don't Worry, Darling yet? Have you guys seen that?
Harry Styles one?
Yeah, the Harry Styles.
No, I have
I'm
not.
gonna be honest.
What is it?
Have not.
It's basically bad Matrix.
Oh, word?
Bad Matrix.
Doesn't really ruin too much, but do you guys want me to spoil it or no?
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
I might watch it.
Yeah, we can't
No.
spoil
I'm
it.
not gonna
Don't
watch
spoil
it.
it. Okay. Well,
Spoil it.
Okay, don't
Spoiler.
spoil it.
I'm never gonna watch it.
okay. So
Serious.
basically, they're set in
literally
this,
said don't
this
spoil
like
it.
50s world. They're like in the middle of Nevada. It seems like they're in like a 50s paradise set in the middle of Nevada, and you're like, what's going on? What's going on?
Tell me.
And then there's this one girl who is like, they're keeping us here, blah 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 blah. This isn't real, blah 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 blah. And then this other girl's like, what is she saying? And then she finds out that it's all a program, and that her husband is actually just a total incel who fell for an Alex Jones like go into the Matrix gimmick. They're totally bought into this thing, and
okay, I like this.
all these men, and it's a really interesting discussion at like Patreon.
Yeah, I'm kind of into this.
Oh,
I don't care anymore.
But
how long is it? Is it like a 3-hour
it's
movie or like a
portrayed
2?
terribly. Olivia Wilde had a great idea, and then they gave her a budget as if you give a film student like $50 and go make your project for.
Oh my god!
And she didn't finish it. You know at the end of the
There's no ending.
I'm gonna have to put a huge spoiler.
No one cares.
You know how in the Matrix, Neo gets out, and you see that they got out.
Yeah.
She gets out, and then it's over.
Just fades to black.
And it's like, whoa, that like the whole thing about the Wachowskis putting in that effort of like him coming out of the vat and like pulling the thing out of his neck is like that. That's intense. And then like she's in not the same setup. It's almost as if you're in the real world and then you get put into it.
Yeah.
So she was set up with like hypnosis shit. And then there's so many questions of like, well, does she rip this shit out of her head? Like there's so many questions.
Wait, so speaking of movies that suck,
movie, and Olivia Wilde basically was like, they gave me $5 million, not $5 million, like $50 million to make this Matrix flick.
Matrix, yeah.
A lot of money.
Has anybody seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No.
Yeah.
The movie sucks.
Oh, really?
I just want to get that known. Everybody talked about
It's
it like
worth
it was
a
the
watch.
best movie ever, and I watched it and I was like,
It's only because you compare
Okay,
it.
spoiler.
The only other movies
No,
are
I
like
mean-
Marvel shit. So it's
yeah, like
the
people were
bar
like,
so
this is
low.
it. This is
It's a
peak
multiverse
cinema.
movie, right?
And then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like it's just multiverse and fucking.
It's in
dick
Chinese
jokes.
too, so it's kind of tough.
Well, we have Chairman Mao around us, so it's all good.
So I understood it because I know Chinese. It's a superior language. But
Anyway.
I'll be right back.
Ni hao.
Yeah. So anyway, Mike,
Yeah.
speaking of failed assets, things like that, do you think that has something to do with what happened in Vegas? Former CIA agent Mike Massaro. What do you think? What do you think happened in Vegas?
Okay, so I don't know enough facts, like as much as I know
Same.
about Oklahoma
I know,
City
like,
to say. But
I've gone and read it a few times.
yeah, exactly.
I've been on
Like
Reddit.
Vegas seems
Isn't a lot
like way
on it,
too fishy.
You just
right? Like,
can't-
it's like
But they don't talk. Out of all conspiracy theories, I feel like that's one that people just really ignore. Like no one really.
Well,
talks
want to know
about
what
it.
the
which means
truth
there's probably
is?
a lot there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
See,
that
here's
there's
the
nothing that they're
problem, and
pumping out
we'll
that's
get
like
into it,
somebody
but the
died
problem
like
is
after a week. I feel like
the reality of human existence is that sometimes you just don't know, right? Like,
Yeah.
in honesty,
It's
like
unfortunate.
it's unfortunate, but the conspiracies are just as plausible as a guy just went crazy. Like, I know it's hard to believe it. It's like you don't want to believe
It's not that
that.
a guy went crazy. I think it's just like what they say. Like this, the math doesn't add up. Like how many bullets he shot compared
No,
to
that's
what
what I'm
gun
saying.
he
Like,
had.
but
it just
but
made
like
no
that
sense.
that is
Made
yeah.
no sense.
and also the suitcase full of guns. Remember that whole thing?
Well, he
Yeah.
brought
Like-
like 18 suitcases up
with
to the
ammo.
room. With
Yeah.
ammo.
See, that's
And-
the like.
And the thing is too is just the
Way more guns than one guy can use. Like,
you don't know why.
AK,
you don't
it
know
was
why he did
a
it.
arms deal with
You know what?
people, the Saudis.
Dude, people might have
also the
been.
video of multiple flashes coming from different
Well, dude,
locations on the
they-
building.
It
like,
looks like there's like a helicopter too, and like
Yeah.
like war veterans
Yeah.
who like post that video, like they have it on TikTok every once in a while. Like war veterans who break down the video, they're like, that isn't a bump stock AR.
That's
It's just
way
it's
too-
impossible.
Yeah, like-
he's like the continuous route of fire. He's like it's a machine gun, 100%.
yeah, a belt-fed machine gun.
Yeah, there
right?
was no way, and there was like that one was just wild too because it's like the guy's house burned down like a week later, like when the FBI
Yep.
They
took
found
over.
child porn on his brother's computer, right? Apparently,
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that. Just
they always burn people. And did you
Well,
see,
they
the
have
interview
no-
with his brother the day after?
He had no clue why he would do it.
Yeah, it was
he
so
like-
weird. It's like, Steven?
that's the
Like-
thing. Like it's kind of like the whole like God thing. Sometimes when people are like need an answer, like religious people, like you need to be like, I'm not doubting it, but it's like, why didn't this happen? And sometimes it's like, I don't know. So I'm just.
There's just no way he
Just
could have
'cause he-
worked alone. The story they told us, like out of all conspiracies, it
No,
just
yeah.
makes no
It's-
sense.
it's-
It makes doesn't add up.
But I want to go like into the deep conspiracy because some people like that. I like the Saudi like
Well,
arms
because
deal
didn't-
gone wrong.
Didn't something happen
That's
like
fun.
that week or something like that? There was something big.
The Saudi prince.
So what's the arms deal? So how did they
made a comment about?
So there's two things related to Saudi. So I've heard there was an arms deal gone wrong, but I don't understand. They still don't really link it. That's where I see. That's where it ends. I don't see the link. The other one was there was like an important Saudi figurehead, and they wanted to assassinate him, and he basically, that went wrong. Like just two like.
So he was in the crowd or something.
Like that hotel. No, like the hotel.
Yeah,
maybe they're like people say that they did it to like cover up that, which makes so little sense because they're basically using like
a massacre.
The rest of humans to like basically random human lives to cover up the death of one person. Yeah. But that one is the most insane one ever. You watch the videos of it, and I get like
it's freaky, man. I get scared. It's like it's almost like it was a perfect turkey shoot where like they like. Where they were set up compared to like where the concert has, and there was no cover. Remember when Dan Brazier?
That's my favorite. He's like, "Give me a gun." He's like, "Up to the cop."
Back to his car. He's like, "I was in the Navy SEAL training for 2 weeks. I know what I'm doing."
He's running up to the cops like, "Do you have a gun?" And the cops like, "Yeah, you need to like get the fuck out of here." And Dan Brazier is like, "I need a gun. I can help you guys." And he's just like, "Cops like, get the fuck out."
Dude, give me a gun,
loser.
Dude. I don't know, but that one, and it's weird because I feel like a lot of people don't like talking about that one.
No, I know.
Even like really in the news, it went away like way too quick.
They didn't talk about. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, we are in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
I mean, it doesn't go well when people like start questioning like recent shootings. It's not like,
No. But I mean.
There's a new conspiracy that came out yesterday.
What is that?
So I don't know if you guys remember, there was like that tweet. It was like during the World Cup, one of the guys, he's like, I just got detained. He just died yesterday.
Oh, I heard about
Suddenly. I'm going to, for the most part, believe that he just died, yes. But he was like railing into them about the LGBTQ stuff, railing about the human rights stuff.
What did they say?
American journalists.
Just railing lines.
Just collapsed out of nowhere at the game.
Just like passed out dead. So an American.
But apparently he had bronchitis and like it makes, but still, there's a lot of fishy.
Bronchitis?
We don't know. I don't want to have answers. I want to embrace the conspiracy theory here. People think he was killed by the Qatari government.
In delusion mode.
Delusion mode.
Where did he die?
At the game, yes. Like just in the like media box. Oh, and apparently he was shuffled out of the media box randomly.
Ooh, that part.
Yeah, this is
a little damning.
So, but I still like don't understand why the Qatari government would do something.
It's kind of simple. It's not even like a crazy.
I know, but
it's just like killing a journalist. Like
but the American journalist.
I know that is
like
stupid.
that is
maybe they're sloppy too.
Are they sloppy?
That's one thing we never get. Like,
that's one you gotta question.
Yeah, that's right. Joey makes a good point. Joey makes
like these are just people.
They're just humans too. CIA.
They're cutting corners at their job, just like we are.
I'm gonna be a little un-PC warning. The Arabic countries do conspiracies too.
It's not even.
They just do them a little bit more sloppy and upfront because they're used to it being sloppy and upfront. So when they do it somewhere else and they're like, well, what's his name? MBS chops up Jamal Khashoggi. Yeah. It's like, we did our thing again. Sorry, guys. It's a bad habit.
We didn't know.
We could have done it
Where
better.
was Khashoggi killed again?
He was killed in like a Saudi Arabian hotel, and people walked
tortured.
He walked in, didn't walk out.
Tortured.
Well, yeah.
They admitted he's dead. Like,
they're just this.
It's not even a conspiracy theory.
It's just like, we killed this guy.
We fucked him up.
That's the advantage here.
We didn't kill him.
Speaking of, this is kind of off topic, but when the line finally gets built, do you want to go? Just check it out.
I'm into that.
Line.
The line, that giant mega
Saudi
city.
Arabia's built the mega city that's just a line.
Beer.
It's like just one.
I am interested.
1 million people, and it's like as wide. Wait,
the
can I
line.
see some of the?
No, I haven't. Yeah, pull
The
that
line,
up.
it's the dumbest, coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. It makes no sense on any engineering like standards. It's just a line. It's like there's a reason we don't do that.
It would be kind of hard to invade that, though.
No, you just break one part of it, and then the train can't go anywhere because it's a line.
It's the easiest attempted, like if the U.S. wanted to carpet bomb it, it would be the easiest route ever. Yeah.
Straight down the fucking.
So
runway.
But like
Like,
the
yeah.
outside's glass and in the middle of the desert, so it's just gonna like turn everything to glass
Well,
around.
dude, you can't see. You're not gonna be able to see
You're
for
not
like
gonna look at
100
it.
miles coming up to the city. It's gonna be blinding.
Yeah, both some.
light.
Look at the line. So we need
my
to go. They're like actually working too. It's not like some.
No, they're digging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're-
Wow.
This is going.
Show him like a more, yeah.
Holy shit.
That's the line.
That's the idea. This is
But like, look how big it is.
What the fuck? Why?
It's like 90 miles.
Because they're trying
The
to.
amount
It's
of
supposed to be the
stress
most
from
efficient
wind.
way to set up a city.
It's
Why?
but it's not.
But it's not.
But why is that a thing?
Yeah.
Because like they like to do because like they can do whatever they want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't we make something that's no one's ever done before?
guys-
What, houses,
Think
coffee
of how-
shops, offices,
But it's just
Think
like
of how
a
miserable it's
bar,
gonna be in the
dinner, and then like
Except-
nice view all the way back home.
Except there's only one way to go forward and backwards. And
You know what I love
those get
about the
shut
Gulf
down.
states is how they like. We're getting to the point in the U.S. where we're kind of realizing that our urban planning might have been.
It was bad. We
It
didn't
wasn't the
do well.
best
Insane.
urban planning.
We weren't planning.
And these
It was
Gulf
seven
states are like, you know what we're gonna do?
miles.
Double down and make it even worse. Our cities are gonna be even worse suburban hellscapes than you could ever imagine.
I want to go to this so bad.
I am interested.
When did they say it's gonna be done?
Indiana Jones
2050?
would not work if the cities were aligned, though.
They're dividing.
No.
Look, show that map, Prokop, like the map.
One second. Which map?
That no, the next one next to that. Just
This
like the
one?
overview, yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
Just
170
dividing
kilometers.
this like any wildlife on any side of that wall will never be able to
Oh my God,
migrate
yeah.
again.
Oh, they're totally not thinking about that at all.
I mean,
I mean, they might-
who cares?
I think
But-
the idea is that there's going to be like.
who cares? He says.
I think there's going to be like little things underneath, like
No,
tunnels.
there's no chance they're gonna build
What
those.
are you talking
Well,
about?
then how is waste supposed to like exit at like?
You
it's
see
not
that-
supposed
you
to
see that-
There's gonna be shit in the
See
streets.
that body of water right
Yeah, they're
there?
Well,
flushing
no.
it inland, dude.
I mean, I get it's gonna go downhill and stuff, but like what they're gonna have to do is they're.
I
gonna
just
have to-
can't believe that
You're
made
asking
it out.
questions that I wish I could answer, but it just doesn't make
okayed
sense.
it? What is this in
Who-
Saudi
the-
Arabia?
yeah.
Kings.
God, it must be so cool
Totalitarianism.
to
Do
live in these
whatever the
countries.
fuck you want.
You know,
Yeah.
Qatar has like their sovereign wealth fund. It's like 1.5 million per citizen. Like they just have so much fucking money. Like just
The prince, like
I will
had,
renounce
like, a
my
trip.
citizenship.
He like had a trip probably.
I
It
would
was, like,
gladly
a line.
fucking wear my
It's like,
thing
I
and
want to
bow
do
down
it.
to the king.
Here's the deal.
Build me a
Not a
line.
question.
Straight.
I'm not gay.
glass.
It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, and-
I'll have my wife.
Dude, the ocean's gonna float around there, dude.
The
Because
heat
Dude,
alone.
think of the sun coming down, reflecting, and then going right into the ocean right there. That ocean's gonna be 150,000.
This is an
degrees.
ecological horror. like
Dude,
it's,
the ice caps are gone, dude. Look at that.
they
It's
could
not
web-
about- dude, that's about 50 kilometers of straight reflection against the ocean.
Should be able to go to the beach in December.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. You don't boil alive, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a hot tub.
One
It's nice.
side's gonna be freezing, and the other side's gonna be like people on fire.
I'm just thinking, like, what if you have a huge
No,
like
you just got to
storm?
get in a little temperate zone.
That's basically a
right
sail.
there.
It's a sail, and it's not thick. The amount of stress on that fucking structure, it's just gonna like warp it. I mean, I'm sure they've
Here's
thought
the
of it.
funniest
I'm sure
thing
they
of
thought
all.
of it.
This thing's gonna be built and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be
yeah,
pretty
it's gonna
cool.
fucking roll.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
pretty cool.
roll.
That's
They
insane.
have unlimited money, dude. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
I'll go.
This is something I'm going to be looking at closely for the next 50 years.
we're not all dead by 2050. This is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
That
I have.
seems way too thin, doesn't it?
No, that's how thin
It is going to be
It
thin.
gets, is thin.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like it is thin.
Like every part of this,
Why
you
is
just
it so
doesn't make
thin?
sense.
That's what is that? Like 200 yards across?
Yeah, maybe.
Nah, it's probably more
those
than
are
that,
like dump
but-
trucks and
Yeah,
those are big ass dump trucks. So those are at least like 50 meters.
like
Is this
one.
being built by is this being built near another city?
2, 3, 4.
I'd hope not.
The
I'd
whole
hope.
country's empty. So
How-
How
It's
long
the
before
middle
the
of the
people who
desert.
live there like snap? You know, like it's like one big apartment complex. Like
you seen that?
everyone's gonna kill each
What
other.
if it's a homeowners association?
So dystopian. It's gonna be like, yeah, that's
It's
gonna
like
be
an
wild.
HOA. And
That's
they
why-
just
Yeah.
kick you out and you just get dumped into
Yeah,
the
then
desert
throw
and you put your knapsack on.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm fascinated by it. It's like so dystopian in every sense. I'm like, they're just trying at this point.
The plant on your window is an invasive species.
It'll
Get it?
It'll probably be able to cut off quarters of it.
My hot take is they're probably just going to use it for like migrant workers, and it's just going to be a prison cell.
Yes.
The world's biggest prison.
Well, Well, and then it's gonna like they're gonna have the
Oyster
tourist.
farmers.
They're gonna have the
Star
tourist.
Wars.
Back to work. It's
They're gonna have the touristy part.
file out one at a
It's
time.
gonna be levels, dude. It's gonna be like one of those movies where like
Yeah,
if
if
you're
you're
on
at the
top, you're gonna
bottom.
be sick, but then they're gonna like drop shit down the bottom. It's gonna be like fuck.
It's like
You're
the back of
throwing
the
your shit
train
out
on
the
what's
window.
that?
So wild.
What's that movie? Where they're on the
The
train
and everyone's
that goes forever.
the social class, like so, like at
You
the
know,
end of the train, it's like super poor people.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, yeah.
It's gonna be in the back. They're gonna be feeding people like bugs on the bottom.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the end of the line. That trust me.
But dude, I feel like this is gonna be the ultimate Amsterdam. So have you ever been to Amsterdam, Mike?
Yeah, I have actually.
Did you get the same vibe that we got when we were walking around? So especially, I was having some truffles. I was enjoying my time walking down the red light district at night, and you could see up top, dude. There's guys like with computers with like all the monitors, probably watching all the single rooms. Oh yeah.
I was focused on the girl. Oh shit!
Yeah, I wasn't looking.
That's how they get you.
See, I wasn't.
Fuck, they got me.
I wasn't looking at the girls, dude. I was looking at how it's set up, and they had like against the wall projected. It's like don't buy drugs from street dealers. Like it kills. And then 2 seconds later, a street dealer walks up to us like drugs. And I'm like, dude, this is like a game where like, if you choose the right thing, you kind of live. But dude, it's got every vice possible.
Yep.
If you're a gambler, they got casinos. If you like weed and drugs, they got that. They got booze, churros. That's it.
Sex shows.
Kebabs.
Sex shows.
Don't forget
Sex.
the kebabs.
Yeah.
Dude, anything that you could possibly want, and they scan your
sex with a
face
hooker. It was
everywhere.
fun.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How much did it cost?
It was €50 to go in and get a blowjob with her like top and bottom on. Another €50 for her to take her top and her panties off.
Good business.
And then another €50 to fuck her.
So 200
for
total.
a half hour. No, €150. So yeah,
Do you get a half
200
hour
bucks
time,
total.
or do you get until you?
You get it till you come. And then
See, that's why I never do it, because I know for a fact
That's not worth it
I'm
anymore.
not, I'm not making the full 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just hands.
Yeah, no, of course not. It was very fun.
Good business model.
It was worth it. It was totally worth it. You get to walk up and down the street and pick a woman. You just
Did
like
you get the same one that you did you get the same one you looked at, or did they have like a different girl?
No, it was the same one I looked at.
Wow,
Because
really?
there's a bunch in the windows. So I was just like,
just walk up to them
I
and-
literally just walked up. She opened the door. She's like, "Hey, sweetie, how's it going?" I was like, "How much to come in?" She's like, €50. And I was like, "Okay." So I went back with her, and then that's when she hit me with the rest of the price.
And you're like-
yeah, and I was like, "Okay." I didn't even think about like the off menu. You know what I mean? If there's anything weird that they do, but
Yeah, like they definitely.
yeah. But it was interesting.
$50 for a blowjob isn't that bad.
No,
like for the most part, if you're like drunk and you're just
but
like,
they
I
get
need
your
a little.
face scanned before you walk in. So I like, dude, and like. So it was all these like Arabic guys, and then all these like British people, and I'm like every single one of them.
MI6.
That's what we
Yeah.
said, dude. We're like that. This whole city, I think, is just like an adult Disney World they set up to have people come and do all these vices, and they get you on camera. Like, because when you left, dude, didn't they scan our whole fucking body when we left to the airport?
Well, that's just Europe.
I just went
Yeah.
to like the Providence Place Mall, and they have like big TV screen saying recording in progress, and it's like, yeah, it's Providence. There's probably a lot of crime going on, but I was like, dang it, Big Brother,
Massachusetts isn't a lot.
But I wanted to say with Amsterdam, one thing I was thinking is like it really is the perfect setup for like people who are like, all right, I have all these drugs. I want to try these drugs. You know what's probably awesome? Trying sex on these drugs. Because it's like not like you
And
can,
eating
you
churros
know what I mean?
after.
Like you do all these drugs, do all these things, drink, and it's like doesn't mean you like most people don't just have access to like a person who's gonna want to fuck you while you're like off like 5 points of MDMA or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm gonna give it a whirl now. I'm gonna take a bunch of mushrooms and see what a fucking blowjob.
Honestly, yeah, that's actually probably correct.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's perfect for that.
They just figured out the vices, and
It's like a Truman Show situation.
You know that
too,
they're
'cause
trying
all
to
day the
stop it
bikes
all
go.
too. They're trying to stop like all
I'm
sex
sure they are.
tourism and like drug tourism. It's like
See, that's
can't.
there's
It's too
not
late.
See,
enough.
I'm not
It's too
gonna
late.
point any names, but I remember leading up to the trip, and obviously I ended up being fine. But like a friend of ours who was going, like they were talking like every Dutch person loves pot, and it's just like I'm like they
probably
kind
didn't.
of.
No.
I made that clear, like, and you know,
It's not cool.
it's
once
like
you can
oh, be
decide.
fine. I'm like they don't really
They didn't
like
really.
it. Like,
They didn't really care. When
Like
we were
obviously
walking
you're in
around
like the
smoking,
area, like walking around smoking is fine, but it's like you can't just like roll joints at every single fucking bar you
But I
step
do,
into.
the problem is same thing with stand up. I've started doing that in bars way too much, just like being like, oh, I can roll a joint here. And
Because
you know.
but the thing about Europe, it helps because you can roll like
Cigarettes,
cigarettes,
yeah.
so it's like you don't have to. But also,
Yeah,
pot
but-
smells.
Yeah, that's true. But
You also leave crumbs everywhere.
I like leaving a trace, dude. It's like a little bandit. But dude, it's such a Truman Show situation, dude, with the bikes and stuff going around in the day, and then at nighttime there's like none. And it's like they like wake up, they don't work, they just drive their bikes around, dude. Like it's like 1 o'clock. There's never a lull in the bikes. So I just think it's fake. I think they organize it. I think they have like they're all like fucking Disney Imagineers. The whole city's fake. I don't think it's a real city. And I said that to one of the Egyptian guys who was making churros for us.
That was the funniest thing.
Didn't like it.
You didn't?
No,
No,
I'm
he
like,
was not
dude. He's
happy
like, what do you
with
think of this place? I'm like, it's like Disney World, man. All you see is churro shops, gyro shops, sex workers, pot. I'm like, did anything real happen here? And he definitely didn't like it.
Anything real happened here?
And I came back like 3 days in a row getting churros, dude. And the guy, like, it's the same guy at night. And I'm like, fuck. But he didn't say anything really to me the rest of the night. I would always leave him a tip. So I think by the third night, he's like, all right. But I was fucked up when I said it. And it was my fault. But I mean, dude, it's fake. It felt like the weirdest place. I couldn't live there for more than a week if I was... Like, if I'd given up on life, I would move to Amsterdam. It's like Las Vegas, but Europe. Like, it's like
You take a year off there.
I could do a year there. Easy.
I could do a year if I had a ton of money and I had no stress and I could just like I had like nothing going on.
'Cause
Like,
I don't
if
know
I
how
was
much-
30 and when I get divorced at 35, I might go to
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
that's a
for
good
week.
divorce place to go after.
Oh,
I might
yeah.
go to the line
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, I might
go
take a
now.
trip to the line.
Yeah, honestly.
Let's go now.
Well, the line's gonna be. Well, you can't have sex
How
in the
can I-
line, probably.
That's true, because you do.
Yeah.
There's probably
you do
no
have
drugs, no prostitution in the
Yeah,
line. Probably.
you do have to be her.
Oh no, actually, it exists. You have to do it illegally, and you have to know.
Yeah.
that
Well, I don't want to
it
do that.
exists.
I don't want to go to jail. Like those are one of those areas. Like
I don't think you go
It's
to.
called a
There's no
heroin
jail
order.
in the line. They just they
Throw
kick
you
you
off.
They kick you on the other side of the line, and you're in the middle of the desert.
Dude,
Like, it's like Mad Max. It's like walk.
depending on your crime, they throw you from a high.
Wait. Okay, I have a question. What do you think the biggest collateral headshot you can get at the line?
Oh, probably.
Stand at 1A.
75. You could probably get
With
75.
like a 50. You just, like you probably would. You're shooting like.
Oh, sure.
How are you supposed to assassinate people in the line?
'Cause you know-
just like
you
four
know-
people are getting taken out.
You know there's gonna be guns in there too.
Oh.
It's like you can't just
Oh, of
ban
course.
guns over there.
No.
Like, if I'm going in the line, I kind of want to be armed for.
Yeah.
You don't need anything more than 22 there, I feel.
No.
It's
You it's
cramped.
up and close and personal.
Problem is,
yeah.
once the U.S. doesn't
Well,
like
see,
it, all
there
it
is-
takes is one A10 Warthog
Yeah,
to
there.
fucking fly by, and the thing is
Just to see that line right there on the map, just like.
It's not funny. It's not funny to bomb. We're sorry, we're bombing Middle Eastern countries.
I'm not.
Anyway.
CIA.
Where's the helicopter?
I signed
like,
up for
We're
this.
good.
Yeah.
But,
I had the idea.
But if you just hit in the middle, like then you just stop transportation for 50% of the
Yeah.
whole line.
It's cut off.
you just starve out each half of the city.
See, the line could only function with New Yorkers.
Yeah.
They'd be fine.
Yeah, it
Like,
totally could.
Imagine a bunch of like
They're living in the
Southerners
line.
coming in there. Oh my god, the lines. You'd be fucking take an hour to fucking walk
Londoners
anywhere.
too.
Manhattan is the
What?
line.
They very rarely
Londoners
leave.
could do
Oh,
it too.
Londoners, yeah. Oh, easily. It has to be real city people.
Yeah, they could survive easy.
'Cause I remember in Boston, like what is it, Faneuil Hall, Quincy Market. Sometimes I'd be walking in Quincy Market 'cause I used to work at the Croc store, and the Southerners would be like 4 people wide and walk like shuffling their feet. That's how slow they were moving. Like they're the most.
Hey, yo,
Move
get out
your
of the
ass.
way. We're in the line.
Dude, I'm walking here, guy.
You're in like the McDonald's line down south to get a McGriddle, and it takes you 45 minutes. You're like, I might as well went
Yeah,
into a sit-down
yeah,
restaurant.
I'm like North Carolina trying to get hush puppies, whatever the fuck they
Yeah,
have.
dude,
And she
fucking
wants
animals.
to hear every single detail of my life. After she asked every other person in line in front of me, there was 4 people in front of me.
She's probably an op. Like she's probably collecting information.
Yeah.
I've-
Anybody who asks me what's going on too much,
You give me a more than a "How are you?"
you're collecting it.
And also, if I ask that and you answer it, honestly, I don't like you anymore.
We got a lot of those over here because this is like kind of boonies.
Yeah, you're in like the Bible Belt of Rhode Island.
Really weird spot
Bible
in Rhode
Belt's of New England. Like, it's weird because it whips up from like Connecticut in like northern Connecticut, northern Rhode Island, and
Yeah.
then goes straight up through Mass, only Western Mass, and stops at Worcester, and then it whips back around all the way to cover Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and stops at Canada.
It's a good belt.
It's a belt that goes
Yeah.
like this.
I know what you're talking
Fat
about.
person's belt. So it's-
A large belt.
It's a lifting belt.
yeah.
It's-
Joey, when we pulled in here, Joey
Bible
was
Belt.
like, "You could tell me this was Illinois," and I wouldn't question it.
Well, it kind of looked like Napoleon Dynamite's like neighborhood a little bit.
and then you're in Providence in like 3 streets. It's crazy.
Are we actually that close to Providence
Yeah,
now?
20 minutes.
Take like a right out here.
Is isn't Twin Rivers Casino pretty close to here?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to hit that after, I'm definitely gonna do that. I made some money last weekend at Mohegan,
Yeah,
so I am
So you need to lose it.
trying to do that again.
All right.
I made some
Twin
money.
is 15 minutes down the road in Lincoln.
Oh, let's go. We're all right.
We go to the air. Do you want to
Comment your
I got
roulette
it in
numbers
5
on
minutes.
this.
I don't know if I'm
We'll be out in
I might just leave
Yeah.
Joey because it's easier. Do we have any more?
Oh yeah.
the conspiracy that I want to talk about that's new too is the crypto people killing themselves. There's no way those crypto people are killing themselves. 0%. There's like 4 of them in the same village that
This is
died.
new to me.
Look up the crypto stuff, Prokop. Look up all the crypto billionaires who just died.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
feel
last 2
bad
weeks.
for any of them.
No.
To be honest.
They could also
After
lost
that
so much money
FTX
that
stuff,
they
like
killed
I'm gonna look at them all the same now.
themselves.
That guy needs to be in prison.
Isn't he also like a political operative? I remember hearing something
He
about
was
a bunch
handing
of
money
like.
got
to
a lot
the
of money
Democrats.
from the
Democrats.
He
Yeah.
was handing money to the Republicans.
The
Why?
FTX guy?
It's the
Yeah.
first
But
thing
like
that
he was
comes
like,
up.
so he had the exchange
What
and he
did I
bought
wrote, like,
Bitcoin, but
crypto
never
billionaires.
like someone bought Bitcoin, but he never bought the Bitcoin.
Oh my
He
god.
just
Yeah.
kept it on the
They
balance.
They didn't have
The
anything.
first
They
one
were
that
like
comes
freeballing it.
up-
They were freeballing
not like
tens
he
of
had,
billions of
a
dollars.
ton of shadow businesses. Like
It's not like Coinbase where like you buy a Bitcoin, they buy a Bitcoin. It's like you pay for a Bitcoin. And he's like, yeah, I now have $60,000.
then I moved to
They
another
didn't have
business.
any accountants or anything.
Yeah,
they had
They
no.
were just having a sex cult.
Vyacheslav Paran, a
Alright, well.
Russian entrepreneur,
Strange helicopter accident. Crashing.
Oligarch, recently died in a strange helicopter. Helicopters.
His wife looks like a robot.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
One of them was like my ex-girlfriend was a the spy. Like dude, like went off the deep end.
Tian Kulander.
You said that racist.
Yeah, that was
Sounded racist.
so, I might want to
Dude,
cut
he's
that
been
out.
That was a
bad
Russian
lately.
accent.
He said it Russian, yeah.
Oh,
I said it Russian.
it sounded like-
from the first
He's
guy.
been
Maybe
really
I was
bad.
the racist
He's been
one
really
in
bad
that.
lately.
He didn't say it like
Starting finance. What? How'd he die? How'd he die? Go down. Scroll down a little bit.
'Cause were these
Died
guys
in
in
his
debt?
sleep could not be confirmed. No other information was supplied.
He's like
That's a
23, dying in
Nikol-
his sleep.
Another
Well,
one.
I heard about this
guy.
Nikolai Mushidyan.
Oh, this is the guy who tweeted. He's like
Yeah,
my girlfriend. My girlfriend's trying to kill me or something like that.
His family does not suspect.
Here's a hot
anything.
take. What if he like deserved to die?
He might have.
God.
Yeah, look at that.
This was his last tweet. CIA, Mossad, the pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking entrapment black ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. Maybe it was the FTX place too, because they ran a weird sex cult there. Apparently, they're all having sex.
No,
with
no,
each
no, no, no.
They are going to frame me. Laptop planted by an ex-girlfriend who's a spy.
No, easy.
They will torture me to death.
He said
And then he
entrapment.
was tortured
He
to
fucked a
death.
kid.
He was-
He fucked a kid. This guy.
pedophile elites on an island? What are you talking about? That's
No,
never
no,
happened
Could
before.
never happen.
He was found mysteriously dead in the a part of the island in Puerto Rico that has like a lot of riptides and stuff, I guess, but fully clothed with his wallet and keys in his pocket. So that's when I go for a swim as well. But apparently he was a very troubled man and he was sad.
Well, he said entrapment, and I'm thinking he got trapped.
He might
Might
have.
have.
Yeah.
He probably fucked kids.
Yeah, he might have. Dude, he might have
It's
done
still
that.
entrapment. At the end of the day.
He probably wanted to do it.
You
Look
don't
at
tell
him.
him,
Yeah.
or if you force
I'm
him.
looking at him and I'm
Here's-
judging.
Yeah, that's a.
He looks like a guy who.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks like Subway Jared a little bit.
He was an easy one to entrap.
My
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend.
He's
is
like,
spying.
oh no, what? I fell and slipped into this kid.
Oh no.
I slipped and fell
You
into
can
this
still be
child.
guilty of a crime, and you can. Someone else can still be guilty of entrapping you.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys have crypto still?
No.
You
I mean, I
get
had on
Every guy-
exchange.
Yeah, I have like
Came
I still
out
have
on
like a
top,
couple
baby.
thousand.
I have like $8 of Ethereum.
I was gonna say.
I got more
If you
than
still
that.
have crypto, remember when Aaron, like a year or two ago, you're like, I almost told my parents to take out all their retirement
That's just
and
not
put it into
true.
crypto. Yes, you did.
Yeah, but
you
to be
said
fair,
it.
when
on the
we
podcast.
started,
we'll go back
so-
and find this one.
Alright, you
When
will.
we started it,
You
it was
will.
still around this point.
I was telling
So
my parents
it's like-
about Ethereum when it was at
They
like
didn't lose a shit ton of money.
$70. So I'm like, they still could have made money.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like,
It's not like the things that
I got in at like 18,000. It's only like 17 right now for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all ending up dead. So crypto might be dead too. Maybe sell your cryptocurrency.
Bitcoin is what's gonna happen.
Well, I'm so excited. I was gonna tell you to tweet on the Twitter like Biden when are you dropping your NFT collection or something like that.
Well, see
I
that.
have money that's burning in my pocket.
Biden, we can't keep it in money because it's inflation. We need the Biden coin.
I need a Biden board at 8 Yacht Club.
Board Biden.
NFT, please.
You guys scared of digital currency coming from like the central?
No, my here's I know you
Well, 'cause
probably
they-
disagree. I prefer central
But they can cut you off so
power.
easy.
Yes,
I'm scared.
100%.
I'm scared of it.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
want
very scared
fucking
of it.
bullshit
Dude, they
random
can
like
cut you off
I
so
don't-
quick though.
the government.
Yeah.
Well, they can cut you off anyways. Then
They cut.
Yeah, if
they
you have
cut
cash,
Kanye
if you have
off.
cash, if you have gold, if you have all this stuff, if you make it like just the fucking like that's
Yeah, but
the
I just
future
don't
of
like
crypto.
I just don't think money should be
They
like.
cut Kanye off pretty
involving,
quick.
They did cut Kanye out.
He can't.
You
Kanye
shouldn't
can't
be able
access
to
his
like bet
accounts.
on money.
Yes.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think speculation is insane. I
Yeah.
think like the stock market.
I just don't think it's good like to have like a just weird
Well,
fucking
that-
Wild West.
I think
of
that's why
fucking-
crypto went down, because everyone treated it like a stock. When it's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
currency.
Well, because everyone was trying. All those Bitcoin guys were only
Yeah, they're
making
just
money
trying to
because
make
they
money.
bought it
That's what they
and would
do.
sell when it goes up $10,
Yeah.
and they'd be like
Like-
buy it again. And they buy.
Yeah,
It happened in 2013 too, when it was doing crazy shit, right?
Well, yeah,
Or
and
the-
like in the 80s, the whole thing was there was no computing of how to do money exchanges, so you had to be on top of like governments being reporting things. So the whole like trading floors of like Wall Street are also filled with like exchange trading floors. So you want to send this much money to this country because it's going to go up, and they would do that until they created computing and said it's illegal to make gains off of knowing these exchange changes, and so those are no longer a thing. Like when there's that famous like 80s exchange video, and like people are going crazy on like two phones. That everyone's like, look at the 80s, it's crazy. It's like, no, this is insane, like money finance capital at
Yeah.
its best. It's incredible.
Isn't that how Warren Buffett made all his money, shorting the pound or something like
No,
that?
that was the guy from Hungary, the one he's the leader of it all. What's his name? Can you look up Hungarian billionaire Prokop real quick?
Soros.
It's Soros.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Oh,
Soros. He
it was
shorted the
German.
pound. Shorted the pound.
I thought it was German.
Became extremely wealthy, I believe.
Why did he short the pound?
The 90s or something like that. He like collapsed it. Like he just like purposely collapsed it.
Basically GameStop, but to like a world currency.
Yeah.
That's
whole
wild.
country.
Why was it allowed?
Yeah, he
Well,
broke
it's not
the
allowed
thing.
anymore.
Yeah, this wasn't.
Because people weren't like thinking about it.
It's wild how none of this is real too. None of this is real.
In Britain, Black
Like, it
Wednesday,
is, but
which
it, like,
occurred on
technically it is. It
September
isn't, like, a
16,
natural part of, like,
1992,
No,
was-
it's-
Human existence. Which is like, but like they talk about it like it's just like fact. And I'm like, this doesn't have to happen, guys.
It's like, dude, you
That's
see
what
the-
I
you see
studied
the basic-
economics, and it was literally just like the whole class was just convincing them like this is just bullshit.
Dude, it's like it's like the guys who share the basic finance advice on TikTok. They're like, see the dip?
Buy.
here. It will go up.
That's like when I started learning about like game theory. It's literally just like a whole science of how to do collusion without saying you're doing collusion. It's like this is beneficial for both people. So most logically they would do this. And if we both most logically do this, then we'll both win. The consumer won't go.
The Columbia logo looks way too much like the swastika, dude. I hate to say it.
Where?
On your socks.
Aren't you wearing? No, it's a champion.
Champions.
logo.
wear it again, please.
Doesn't that look
Oh, I kind of see what you mean.
Yeah, it's kind of problematic.
Good thing I work for Massage. So.
Yeah. I said that in the intro of the last pod again.
did?
That you got captured by Ireland because they haven't
Ireland has
spoke
like
out
a
against
file
Kanye.
on you.
Ireland definitely has a problem.
Well, they think you're a spy
They think
or
I'm a
something,
fucking
dude.
Oh,
spy.
do we want-
But
They're like, this
I
guy's
want
been
them.
here 10
I
times
want
this year.
them. I want them to
You
like
need to post
question
more
me. I get
pictures on
excited.
Instagram. You need to post
I know.
more
I know.
with
That's gonna be the
Kira.
funniest thing. They'll be like, I'm seeing my girlfriend. They'll be like, prove it.
Well,
And I have no
see it.
pictures.
Prove it.
They're like, fucking prove it. I wouldn't be able
Like
to.
no Instagram pictures.
Just like a
right?
picture with the background.
Yeah, she's like in the
Like, trust me, that's her.
this random chick over there.
I've gotten my bag searched like crazy in Iceland. Like they like pulled me aside, like took everything out, like scanned. You know those things at the airport? You go to security and they'll like scan your hands, like the little brush. They
The
did
bomb
that to
dust.
me.
Bomb
Bomb
juice.
dust.
They did that to you?
In Iceland.
Never done that.
Fucking like every single
saw the
square
nose.
inch of
Happened to
my
me.
fucking
Holy
bag.
shit.
No.
But they packed my bags, which is nice after. So I'll give them that.
Well,
But
dude,
still,
I-
yeah.
That's nice of them.
Folded it
I
up
was like,
real
okay.
I had a
nice.
huge thing of airsoft.
They weren't rude about it,
both
but I was
ways,
like-
and the guy in
Yeah, the guy in Netherlands finally caught you. With
the guy in the Netherlands caught me with the fucking deodorant, and he goes, "Do you have deodorant in your bag?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Well, there's something right here. What is it?" And I'm like, "Hopefully deodorant."
He's like, I know you have deodorant. I just have to hear you say it. And you're like, no deodorant. Like he opens up the bag.
You're not allowed to have deodorant?
Well, it's a huge.
Oh, was
No,
it?
it wasn't even that he wasn't allowed. It's like he wanted the guy wanted him to say that.
I didn't know I had it. I didn't know I had
I
it.
was
He
going-
wouldn't say it.
I
was
hope
like,
it's
dude,
the
just say
other-
yes.
Well, dude, and then TSA took my grinder and they took it apart because I bought a brand new grinder like over there, and they're like, "What?" They like pulled my bag aside and they're like, "What's in this bag?" I'm like, "Well, I think I forgot to take my laptop charger out," and they're like, "We're not concerned about the laptop charger. What else do you have in the bag?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like a grinder maybe, like and like a rolling tray, and they're like, okay, well if there's drugs in there, we're gonna have a problem. I'm like, it's brand new, and they like took it, smelled it, then took it all apart. And they're like, all right. Like, made a
See, I'll
huge
never
deal
give them what
about
they
it.
want. I remember I had like fucking. I brought home like 12 blocks of cheese.
Hell
and
yeah.
stuff, and they were like, "You bringing anything?" I'm like, "Nope." You sure? Nope. Food?
Yep.
Nope. No. Like he's just like looking at me like, "You sure?" I'm like,
Biggest
you know, I
cheese
have like
dealer.
so much cheese. Doesn't
I
matter.
got-
It
yeah,
doesn't
no, it
matter.
doesn't.
But it's. I'm not giving you an answer.
You know
gotta
what?
head out.
Well, you're actually not allowed to bring like a certain amount of. Yeah, I think cheese is like.
It's like airtight. They had it like
Oh, yeah.
airtight.
Yeah.
It's more
I
like
gotta
the
go.
principle of
Yeah.
it for
Let's say
me.
bye to Joe,
I refuse
everyone.
to.
Bye, Joe.
Bye,
Wait,
Joe.
I think I'm gonna come.
I guess Aaron's
Yeah.
coming too.
Bye, Aaron.
Bye,
This is
Aaron.
easier.
Bye, Joe.
Should I unplug this or what should I do here?
You just leave it on the seat. Just leave it on the seat. Okay.
Are you guys
both gonna be
in
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to see
I said
you.
we go out tonight.
Oh yeah, I'll be back.
Gents,
This is gonna be a good episode.
this is a great episode. It's still going on. That's why we're doing handshakes on the camera.
important business. Keeping this one.
Yeah, I should actually hold on to that.
So you guys at the casino?
What happened?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. But what other fucking conspiracy theories I want to bring up? Oh, I have one that's more on like a personal level that I don't think it's like a big one. But were you ever on Omegle / Hot or Not or anything, Mike? Did you ever get on any of those apps?
I have.
I wanted to bring it up. You have?
Yeah, with some friends. We've been on.
Okay. Do you remember KIK?
Yeah, kick.
Yeah, dude.
I've never.
I
I've
definitely
never been
sent
on
my
that.
dick pic to like a government agent before. There's no doubt.
Wait, government agent.
Yeah, I have a theory that like between the years of 2011 and 2014, when we were in high school and middle school, there will go down in history. I'm calling it. There will be an investigation on how the government has a collection of everyone's dick pics, dude, from KIK.
But
Or
we're
Snapchat.
children, so was the government collecting child porn?
Yeah, I haven't sent any dick
Yeah.
pics since I was an adult, so they'd have my child dick. But so take that in consideration when it gets leaked.
Why were they collecting it?
I don't know. I think because they
He's
want
got to
everybody's
come up
dick.
with the motive. He's still working.
Okay.
The
On
motive
Okay.
isn't there yet. I think they want a bank of everyone's dick pic for blackmail. That's
That
my
makes some
guess.
sense. Wait, well, maybe that's the child porn that they plant on people's computers whenever they burn
Yeah,
them.
that's a good fucking. That's a good little. Because
Maybe that's it.
That's the source.
yeah, because there was
Straight from the CIA, you guys.
yeah, because there was definitely people who were agents on these apps who were like, oh yeah, send me your dick, and I'm like, all right, word. And I sent my dick on KIK, and they
they
definitely
took
had it.
like boobs from girl or like
Yeah.
image 200 and.
Yeah, I didn't know any better. I was fucking 13 years old. I was 14 years old. I
It's
didn't know
actually
any
just a
better.
dating service for underage kids so they can collect more child porn. You're just randomly pairing them.
And using it, yeah.
Kick's not around anymore. Is
So
it?
that's my KIK conspiracy. Maybe we can cut that out
Yeah.
because we said CP in there a lot. That's
You're not
probably
allowed to
good
say
for-
CP.
I don't think it's good for the algorithm. I
What,
don't think.
CP?
Yeah, saying that I don't think it's good.
There's
for
no
the algorithm.
CP on this.
It's true. It's true. I'm not saying like we get in trouble. I'm saying like they
You
take
mean
it.
Communist Party?
Yeah, oh my God, you're so funny.
What am I? What am I? Here
What were we
for
just
than the
talking
other
about?
side?
What were we just talking about? Not Communist Party, you idiot.
He's talking about.
Oh,
Yeah. So I
CP.
think
That's
that
CP.
if you say that on the algorithm, sometimes they'll take you down.
That's the only other CP I know. So I was
my
like,
God, you're so
or
funny,
compute.
Speaking of that, dude, you know what I found out?
Speaking of that,
Speaking of that, SpongeBob, dude, his address. Look up SpongeBob's driver's license, by the way, please. SpongeBob's driver's license is Little St. James Island. If you don't know, Epstein's Island. You could be just a coincidence, but Nickelodeon has a track record of not good moves.
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider, perfect example.
Is it the like?
124 Conch Street.
Hold on.
That That might not be it. If I got bamboozled by a TikTok, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. I probably did.
You very well may.
Yeah.
Look at the address of Epstein's compound.
Yeah, was it 124 Con Street? If it is, that's gonna be wild. If it wasn't, then we're cutting this part out too.
Google could also have been tampering with the results. They do that.
They do that.
All of Jeffrey Epstein's home and real estate addresses.
Look up Epstein Island SpongeBob, dude. Just look it up. Go right to the source.
I mean, he owns the whole island. Would there be streets?
That is true. I don't know.
Only if he wanted them, I
SpongeBob.
guess.
Let's see.
Look at a weird temple.
It is a weird temple. Nah, damn, I got bamboozled, dude. Rounders got me.
Warriors
Damn.
got
Anyway, it wasn't real. I was gonna say that would be wild if it was. If that was in our face the whole time, I think that would have been insane.
Like, it is the home of dress of known child predator.
Yeah, it actually is. Gotcha again. Now I feel stupid with that conspiracy. But anyway, the OKC one is not, because we were talking about like the FBI infiltrators. There's so much. I feel like even like some of the school shooters have been like contacted by like the FBI and stuff as of late.
Probably.
And they don't. There's no way, bro, that like all these go without like some FBI knowledge. And it's just like, I feel like you said earlier, they got to justify their paycheck. The fucking, how many of those people on January 6th do you think secretly were like government agents? Like,
You ever heard of Ray Epps?
Wow, let's look him up.
Oh, geez.
It's going to be hard to find him on Google, but if you look on Twitter, you should be able to get some stuff. So there's a video of this guy, Ray Epps. And like, I haven't looked super into this, but I've seen this name pop up a bunch.
Who's Ray Epps?
So there's this video of him the night before. I want to see if they link to it. He's outside and he's going, "We need to go into the Capitol. We need to go into the Capitol." And there's a bunch of people around him. Dude, what are you, a Fed, man? Like, literally, it's you can watch the video. Like, this guy's a Fed. This guy's a Fed. And then the day of, he's holding open the gate, holding a flag, and he's waving people. And he's like, "Come on, let's go inside. Everyone inside." And he's fucking... and he never got arrested. he never got arrested.
Oh my god. Oh, there it is. The video to the right.
Yep.
Wait, this one? The one that...
How to breach the Capitol to the right.
Not able to be watched here. Privacy warning. See, everything gets fucking redacted. It's hard to find. Yeah, that's a good one. This is not able...
Whatever.
Not available in your...
Oh my god.
It's available in the UK.
Oh, I need my... Oh, I don't even have it up right now. This is great. Yep, gotta sign into the old weapon.
Dude, that's fucking wild. Because you know that, like, some of those guys wearing the fucking... Who were in QAnon, dude, all probably were fucking... Like,
100%.
I think Trump had people in QAnon, dude, no doubt. Because he would say some of the catchphrases and stuff. Yeah. He would say some of the fucking catchphrases and stuff in the speeches to keep them fucking all riled up. They'd be like, "Oh, no, look, he's told us. What they're saying is true."
It's just Eric Trump posting on
Yeah, dude, he's out there just railing lines, posting.
That sounds like a good time, honestly. Just railing lines and shit posting.
Leading a conspiracy, like being these FBI agents who are involved with it, must be so dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that'd be so much fun.
It's like the threat of being caught is like what kind of ruins stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you just know you're not going to jail, you can be like, yeah, dude, let's do this, let's do that.
We good?
Yeah, let's watch some Ray Epps videotape.
Yeah, why not? Do a quick update. Please update quickly.
Bold to update it when we're recording.
It'll be quick. Can't be that much, like, data it needs. Okay. Maybe a bad choice.
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Setup Wizard.
Okay, install. Oh no. Yes. We're going. That's quick.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh no.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, no, there was definitely some of those people who were like, let's go. Like they have to be.
If it's like
If they're not doing their job.
If it's tied to Michigan.
Well, the Michigan
go
one.
Back to the beginning of the episode.
So,
right.
If you guys are paying attention, we're giving you real knowledge here. Don't make me turn on the light again.
Yeah, so Michigan, they like how many of the people in Michigan were like CIA or FBI agents? Did they say?
So, of them, I think there were 13 co-conspirators. I think 6 of them took a plea and turned witnesses at separate times, and then we just turn off.
This is rough. Well, it's okay. Everything else is recording except my audio right now.
Oh, wild.
Where is it saving to?
That computer.
Guys, the government has bricked our connection to the computer so that we
I just
can't.
restarted the VPN I hit yes to restarting my computer
Well,
There are helicopters overhead. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm in Joe's now. There we go.
We're going dark.
This.
What a move.
Yeah, so I'll send the Michigan stuff too, but in Michigan, they like basically the I think it was like it's different in each article I read. Like how many people? The first initial report is you have 13 people who are arrested in connection with it. Of those 13, they actually charged some of the informants as well.
Really?
Yeah,
because they think they weren't.
One of whom was that first guy we talked about. I forget his name. It'll be in the document on the thing.
Yeah.
But that first dude, his last name begins with an S or something. He, the guy who had like the gun charge and who had, he also he defrauded a couple out of an SUV. I think
nice.
like during the course of the trial, and
Time to do it when you're on bail.
Yeah. He convinced them they were donating it to a charity that like hunted down sex offenders. And
okay, we should be
oh my God.
basically back up, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, let's look at this Epps video when we get. But that's fucking wild.
The
Why would you do that when you're in? Like some people are just so dumb, man.
Because he thinks he's an asset of the government too. Like,
oh, that's true. He probably thought he was gonna get off.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the fucking Ava Braun thing all over again.
I got what's available in the UK, but not in the US.
And the UK has some weird laws too.
Yeah. It's clearly not misinformation labelable.
No, you could probably do Ireland. Ireland probably doesn't hide anywhere.
I didn't see Ireland. Where is
Go
it?
down.
Albania's a Wild West, dude.
Yeah. Anything. Yeah.
Richard, Hong Kong's got free internet.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
We're in Dublin.
We're in Dublin.
Well, for this, they'd probably be able to watch it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, there.
Oh.
Try somewhere that doesn't like us. Albania definitely is fine. Actually, they like us though. Because we went after whatever Balkan place they don't like. Bulgaria probably doesn't give a fuck about us.
Oh yeah.
I really want to see this old guy waving him in.
Refreshing.
If you can't watch this in wow.
Oh.
The FBI has deep
They're-
rain.
Oh yeah.
You can't watch it unless you can find something. Estonia, maybe.
No.
Russia?
Romania. Try Romania. Andrew Tate always says it's so free.
Did I pass it?
It's in alphabetical order, pal.
There it is. Yo, fuck Portugal. Just a quick shout out.
Fuck Portugal. Just a quick.
Air Portugal, I just found out, lost a bunch of my data to some hackers who now have like my passwords and my social security number and a whole bunch of stuff. So fuck Portugal. It's a national airline. Fuck Air Portugal.
Yeah, you guys are fucking animals.
Yeah,
dude.
that's bullshit. I just needed to get that out there.
I can't wait for Aer Lingus to lose mine.
Aer Lingus. Aer Lingus sponsored my college basketball team.
Really?
Yep. We used to chant "Fly Aer Lingus" during free throws.
Dude, where did you go to school?
Fordham.
Oh.
We're gonna try London. Couldn't connect to Romania for some reason.
We've had people trying to do this. All right.
One more refresh. Hey, there we go.
Look at that.
Out of all countries to have it.
The volume up? Thought I had the volume up.
We need to go, I'll say it, all right. We need to go in to the Capitol. Let's go! So I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it, okay? Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
No!
Yeah, everyone's like, no.
Peacefully. Fed.
A lot of these QAnon guys were probably expecting. They probably think this guy's a lib.
Yeah.
Speaking, we go to the Capitol. The Capitol's this direction.
My God.
Yeah.
Suited.
He keeps popping up in different spots.
Did you see the gear he has on?
Yeah.
Suited and zooted. Oh, no.
Agent provocateur. And then look who it is right up front. Who's telling him we got to push in?
It's time.
It's Ray again. Ray Epps once again. Makes the call. And look and then see who's not pushing.
Lovely. Look at it. Oh,
Yep.
Oh
wow.
my God. That's a tough look.
Okay.
We got to go into the Capitol.
Oof.
Not a good look.
Raps, we got you.
Yeah. Well, so
We got him, boys.
nobody's got him. He doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist.
Okay, yeah, like I remember, like they had
don't
no
exist.
records of him.
CIA agents changed their names. They do not exist. Like here's a quick recommendation for you guys. Check out Blowback. It's a podcast. They talk about first season. It's like, here's the thing. It's like Pod Save America or like any of those NPR like libtard bullshit. But it's like actually it's prepared in that way where it's like, oh, all these sound bites and all that shit, and like, but it's about the Iraq War, about the Cuban Missile Crisis for season 2, and then season 3 is on the Korean War. And here's a conspiracy I wanted to go into was that MK Ultra was started because of the Korean War.
Why?
Oh, I'm interested in
The basically all it was Korean American POWs were basically fed basic Marxism, and then we're like, yeah, the rich people do have a lot of money, came back to America, and Ronald Reagan like literally portrayed these guys as dopes. There's there's a footage of Ronald Reagan being like, they're using some kind of mind control. They had him write essays. It seemed if the prisoner did something wrong, he had to say he did something wrong and write an essay, and he was forgiven. It was like, seems too easy, right? And they're just, like, literally the communists were just like, hey, stop being such a fuckhead and being like a imperialist white guy. And
Sure, they tortured him a bit too.
And then, here's the thing. There's back and forth. There's back and forth where people are treated nicely. There's one general who was like picked up. Like, I recommend go listen to Blowback because they have these sources laid out very well. But one of the POWs was held either by South Koreans who were way worse in how they treated their prisoners than the North Koreans.
So like South Korean guerrillas?
The South Korean army.
But why would they capture American people?
No, they were capturing Koreans in general and suspected sympathizers, and they were known to just do mass graves all the time.
Ooh.
South or North?
South.
That makes sense.
So just because they were like suspected of helping the North. Anyways, the main thing is like the POWs and this captain gets treated really well, and he gets basically talked to, and he has a first person account where he's like, the guy's testing me and he's like trying to see if I have loyalty to the country, when he's actually being like, well, like, who you see that these rich people run your country, and he's like, but I support these rich people or whatever. And he's like pushing back in this dialogue. It's very interesting. Basically he comes back and the CIA is like, brainwash our boys like that. They gotta have something. There's a brainwave. There's something they got that we don't got. So we gotta put a bunch of acid in a bunch of hippies and find truth serum. And that's how MK Ultra started. It's literally just like some farm boys from Indiana were captured as POWs. They were like, hey, when you go back to America, they kind of did brainwash them in a little bit, but they were like, think about who runs all your companies and who is sending you to this war and yada, 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 and where all your goods come from. And they were like, oh, dang, they have a point. And they were like, we put acid in Ted Kaczynski, tell him what he's, he'll do something. It's got to give us something. And they wasted millions of dollars.
Well, it wasn't such a waste on Kaczynski.
Well, also,
wasting
also,
one way or
Ultra
another.
Was like, I feel like a lot of similar like people like Kaczynski were involved with MK Ultra. Like, wasn't there a few? Like, wasn't
Ken Kesey,
Charles Manson was MK Ultra as well?
Yep.
Whitey Bulger was.
Apparently, I don't know if Whitey was, but
I thought it was pretty like.
I heard that.
It was pretty accepted that he was.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen it. It's more of an alleged one. That's more of the alleged one where like he didn't say he was in it, which is Whitey being not a snitch because.
Yeah.
And probably because it kind of got him out. Probably got him out in a way, or probably gave him like a bit of an out. You know, that's why you go into CIA stuff. Is because they're like, oh, that's like all the movies they depict it as like they find like Jack Reacher or whatever. You were a rogue agent, but we're putting you back in, and if you die, who cares? Yeah. And it's his redemption arc, and he actually becomes a good Tom Cruise becomes a good person.
That show Burn Notice used to be on TV. That's like the whole premise of that show. That guy's like a CIA black asset. Like,
yep.
Yeah, I feel like. Because like you said, it all leads back to they need someone to fight, and because I feel like an average person, like even if you have kind of wild takes, until someone like external comes and like gives you either money or like that like listen, you know what I mean? Then you're not gonna do anything. But like once you get that little bit of introvert, like let's push these people to actually go invade fucking the Capitol building in Michigan, and like let's push these people to actually go into the Capitol and stuff. You know, and that's when it's like, ooh,
let's provide to the echo chamber.
Yeah, because that's like you're not. He didn't.
That's kind of what's happening with Kanye too.
Well, because at the end of the day, too, dude, like like this doesn't help either side because it's like people are like, oh, look, they're actually forcing people in, and then like these Trump people are like, see, no one was actually a Trump supporter who stormed the Capitol. It was all fake, and then it's like the opposite. It's like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's like.
It's messy.
The thing about
phones, I think, is added. You can't hide stuff. Like, think how easy it was to like even cover up like Kennedy. And, like they still made mistakes, but now it's like you got fucking phone. They can take it down and all these like you can't see that, and that's kind of like that's the other thing. Like they don't cover it up well either because it's like it almost like fuels the conspiracy.
I brought up as well. They go into the JFK assassination pretty well. And do you guys know 60 Seconds in Dallas or something like that or? Final Seconds in Dallas. This guy like went hardcore on the thing, and he's basically like there were two shots. It wasn't from the building. It probably was not Oswald. This officer was probably tipped off to like pick some guy up. Like you don't get a lot of like words from the officer who picked up Oswald, and then I think he dies. I don't know.
All die.
I have to check back in. But like the major thing about 60 Seconds in Dallas, I think I'm getting the name of the book right, is that they did like an audio layout of one of the live radio recordings that was going on, and they played it back to footage, and they were like, okay, so we hear these shots in this thing, in this tape recorder, we know where this tape recorder is, and they got audio engineers to be like, well, if we know what kind of gun or we're suspecting this kind of gun was used.
Well, they know the gun. They have the gun.
They had.
It was like that Italian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They have a gun.
Yeah. Anyways, they were able to say like there were two shots from two different locations based on this tape recording. So it was not like.
I think it was in the storm drain because there's like some videos of like the cop who's like to the front right of the car looks down and over like and people are like, oh, he's looking at a grassy knoll. But he wasn't like looking in the drain is what they think.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I saw a conspiracy about that.
They 60 Seconds to in Dallas, I believe is what it's called.
They also kill Oswald. Then they kill the guy who kills Oswald, who also
who's
is
a mob guy.
Yeah.
The big thing that this podcast goes into is the mob connections. There are the big thing about Capital and the mob are that they are very closely tied, because Capital is always looking to expand, and the mob is just another way to expand Capital, but they don't want to be publicly dirty, because if they are publicly dirty, then people see that they're adding to this, and this is why people like Alex Jones go to like their demonic like sex rings, Illuminati. It's just Capital. That's my other conspiracy, guys.
Well, they probably do sex stuff.
Some of them are pretty weird with the sex stuff.
No,
They definitely do
the
sex
weird
stuff.
the weird stuff happens. No shit. Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. All it is just rich people being fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's also, you got to think,
Eyes wide shut.
it's not like they're new rich either, and like could have the somewhat sense of humanity. Like these people are like people who've been raised by like pampered people, you know what I mean, that have been like gods forever.
Yeah.
So like you got to think mentally, like they don't look at us like people, which explains so much.
Oh yeah.
And that's where you kind of just got to get to it, because it's like people are like, I'm gonna change things. It's like you might, but you're not gonna. It's too late to topple. The only way it topples is if the world ends.
Which is kind of happening with
And
the
even if
crypto
those
guys.
people, like those people are gonna live. I hate to say it. They might not have the same control when they get out, but if they come out of their bunkers after we all are done killing each other, and they have millions of gold bars, and they're like, here you go, like rebuild.
We'll just restart shit. Yeah.
Like it's just gonna start over again. It's just like you're never gonna truly destroy the system, no matter how hard you try. You know what I mean? It's like it.
I don't know. I think that's
There's no way. There's
I
no
think
way.
that's
It's like the circle of life.
doomerism.
It's not doomerism. It's reality. You got to think like these people have all of us have been worrying about like basic survival until the last let's say 100 years. Even if like maybe about 100 years is when like the average person got a little more comfortable, didn't need to worry about like dying of a random disease at 12. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the time, those people who are in charge of it were planning. If like you know what I mean, like they're so far ahead. Like there's no way that one of us is going to be able to. Like it's impossible. It is impossible. It's not doomerism. It's reality.
Yeah, but guns and food sufficiency can do a lot to like level that playing field out.
Yeah, but it's also like
You're
the guns
talking
only
my
work
language,
if
Mike.
but the guns only work like it's so because it's like you got to look at it at like surface level. Like the average person isn't going to truly ever get to like. To have a chance to really kill these people who have like all these money. They're high. We'll never find them unless every asset in the government is like also looking for these few people who are in charge. But they will never do that. You know what I mean? Like just think of reality. How far up you have to convince the system to like go after the people who are truly on top.
But that's assuming you have to hold them accountable in some like violent sense. Like it's like you could always just like if people are able to become self-sufficient with food and energy and stuff like that, and then withdraw from the system, money doesn't mean anything anymore. Because you have the land that you live on, you farm it, you make enough money to live, you can hunt, you can harvest animals, you can work together with the people around you. Yeah, and if everyone's able to do that shit, then like and there's no currency system, there's no central capital system. All that you would basically have is a bunch of people who are like, wait, take this, do things.
Mike, this sounds like Mike, this sounds like communism. I'm the one who's supposed to bring this bullshit up.
Yeah, but it's still
Sounds
I
like
get what you're saying.
anarcho-communism.
I understand what you're saying, but that's also
ANCAP and ANCOM are like right on a
Yeah,
very
I
thin
agree.
line.
In a way.
Just an anarchist.
a
Like
small part of that though truly relies on the people who are like in charge of like who we see like getting behind the cause and being like, oh, like people should be more.
Yes.
But they're not doing that. That's the only way you're going to truly
because
change
they don't
it.
want to get Kennedied.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing.
That's
You need
basically
those-
it.
But you
Yep.
need those
No, it
people,
is,
and
yep.
until you can get those people to not fear being Kennedied, then nothing's going to change. Like we need to change the minds of the people who are on top of us to be like, hey, like, and that might have to like that's the thing that to get to that point always goes violent, and it's like how do you do that without doing that? And it's almost impossible. I hate to say
You
it.
elect a
Here's
Saudi
the-
oil baron.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing, guys.
one guy in charge makes all the decisions.
This is where I probably differ a little bit. The violence
I know
is
you don't.
inevitable.
Yeah, but you should.
You don't differ on that one with me. I agree.
But that's kind of what I just said.
Revolution.
I'm not. But I'm saying like.
Lenin was spitting, Coop.
Yeah, but what happened in fucking Russia, dude? They get in charge. They have the idea for a little bit, and then it becomes this dystopian, fucking totalitarian thing. Like the idea, I get it, but you need to convince the people who end up being in charge after that to not go totalitarian, and it never happens because once you get that power, bro, you go crazy.
I think you're a little brainwashed on like
I'm not.
how dystopian it is.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm thinking, dude, you got to look at these fucking
they're-
people who are in charge of you. They think they're better than you. 100%.
Yeah.
Even the people walking around Harvard, you can tell they smell me and they're like, this kid doesn't go here. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like they're
Because they're
different.
lizards, they're not real human beings.
Exactly.
They're all,
Exactly. They're lizard people.
They're cold-blooded.
They're cold-blooded. They can feel your warmth. They know you have fucking. They're different.
we should watch They Live.
But
Great movie. Great fucking movie.
But dude, that's the thing. Those people.
Do you know this guy?
I don't.
Check this guy out. Slavoj Žižek. Really interesting.
He's gonna indoctrinate you. You better
No,
watch
no,
out.
no, no, no. He's not. He
Hell yeah.
Slavoj is not about
He's gonna
indoctrinate.
feed you pizza.
I'm gonna show you
he's gonna
guys.
get you involved.
Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys a good
like this.
Slavoj video.
I've seen this guy.
I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can.
I already am eating from the.
I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can.
I already am eating from the trash can all the time. The name of this trash can is ideology. The material force of ideology makes me not see what I'm effectively eating. It's not only our reality which enslaves us. The tragedy of our predicament when we are within ideology is that when we think that we escape it into our dreams, at that point we are within ideology.
Yeah.
So he's out there. He's fucking out there. His whole thing, he's a Marxist and all that garbage, but he's also like big on like, I don't like what China's doing. Like, it's definitely not the best thing, but it's working for some reason. Like the authoritarian socialist market. It's
crazy.
It's
yeah.
working. Here's the thing.
Like you could
It's
argue
working
capitalism is
based
working
on-
They both have their problems. And they're still working.
It's
Yeah.
working based on Keynesian economics.
Yes.
And it's working based on how we've said economics works. If you were to basically say money's fake, there's a whole different system, and then you say it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So in a way, China is crazy because they're like, well, if this is the rules, we're going to play by the rules until we can make the rules, is my opinion on China. That doesn't mean I like what they're doing to the Uyghurs. That doesn't mean like Taiwan is Chiang Kai-shek's hiding hole and blah, 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 blah. But everyone, I believe in like a decentralized state and shit. I don't believe there should be one China as a whole thing, but then that'll get me killed by Xi. So here's the thing, guys. What do you want? You want true criticism, or do you want
They don't.
do you want a
Free
a
Taiwan.
party member? A party
They
member.
don't want it.
Yeah.
They don't want it on our podcast. But yeah,
This is what you get in America.
yeah. It's
Crazy thoughts.
I agree. I actually like I think that putting like China is basically the model state for the hybrid system that the U.S. has become. Like,
Agreed.
And I think that whole like global capital movement, you know what I mean? Like all of the capital funds and monetary funds that basically run the entirety of the stock market, that own all the companies, own all the little tokens that you're playing with. That's some approximation of like wealth. It's all bullshit. Like it's all just a way for them to move money around and reallocate it on paper for what are essentially a few finite resources that they're they're controlling a larger and larger percentage of. So China realizes that instead of decentralizing half of this and centralizing the other half, we're going to centralize the whole thing, and we're going to play it better than you ever can, because when it doesn't work, our levers aren't just like for America, the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, exercises like the monetary power to, like quantitatively ease it or to jack up the rates or whatever, right? Like, so they can do either or to sort of adjust how the economy goes and respond to things. China's got much more at their disposal because they control the entire process from point A to point Z. So you can just shut off things, you can shut things down, you can turn off trading on anything that you want to. You could pull it off the market, you can stop the business from operating. Like, you never have that catastrophic failure because you can pinpoint every problem and
they have some cracks. They're real, like a lot of their thing is based on real estate, which is all like fake over there, and that's something they're realizing. And plus, I hate to say it, the control part. Like, if the videos and stuff you believe from like some of these factories in Singapore or whatever, Shanghai or not Shanghai, whatever, where there's like a few coming out that they're like revolting against like the lockdowns. Like, they have some stuff that like if they don't change it, even if that system like might be better,
reality will always grow through the cracks. Well, that's because it's better at the game we're playing, like you said. It's not better at the reality that this is all fake. And the reality that this is all fake like has an overbearing burden. Like, it has gravity, just like all reality, all matter. And that gravity is going to crack through whatever man-made bullshit. You build your house on the beach, eventually the stilts are going to knock away and you're going to slip into the ocean. Like, that's exactly what they're playing with. They just built a better house on the beach. That's it.
They built it on the mountains of like China, and it's like they got a good setup in that little little corner, that giant corner of Asia.
I hate to say it though, the biggest
will come down.
It's a crazy. The thing about China is that it's so old too. Is that there's a crazy thing that people are like, it died for 100 years, but then it came back, and like in 50 years, it took over the market.
Yeah.
So that's what's nutty. And it can't be ignored or said it's a boogeyman. It's scary, but you have to look at it critically.
Realistically, too, I hate to say it, the biggest threats in the future isn't necessarily us versus China. I think it's some of these other countries that are kind of creeping up on us that we're not paying attention to because we're so worried about China. Being like Brazil's becoming a wicked economic power, and they're also clear-cutting the Amazon to make room for fucking farms that they can then supply. Like, one of our biggest assets is that we supply China with a lot of food. They don't need us for food anymore. That's kind of a big problem. And then India is also a threat in that region too, because I don't think India necessarily loves us or the West either. I think they have some Western ideologies in their system, so we have like this mindset of like, oh, they're on our side, but they haven't like spoken out against Putin and Russia yet.
India is a crazy country. There are so many factions, so many different political ends,
and I don't think they like the West.
Own,
I hate to say it.
They have their own like Nazis, and they have their own communists. Like, they're on the total ends. It's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy country.
So I think like, I don't know, and we're sending a lot of money now to India because we're trying to take it out of China, but it's also like it's not necessarily like that's going to be the best long-term decision for America either. Both of those places have a ton of people.
Yep.
And America does not. So if it comes down to like a body for body war, like, it's not going to be great for us.
Although America does have that going for it, that if it ever does, we have enough firepower to destroy everybody.
Well, yeah. Now we're getting into.
If we go down there, everybody's going down.
Tim Pool's most correct. I don't know how you guys feel about Tim Pool. I hate him, except for one point he made. Every sovereign citizen deserves a nuclear armament in order to be.
Hell yeah,
sovereign.
I agree. Yeah,
that's the only way.
Yeah.
Unless you can point the bullet at someone else at the table, you're not really at the table.
Yeah.
We can handle small firearms great, so I think it would be great to have.
That's why everyone's getting nukes.
You can build a nuclear reactor yourself. It's not. It's you can easily find it online. I'm not going to tell you how to do it.
This is how. Oh no, this is how we have to.
Yeah, this is.
You can find one.
This is why you got the FBI's address.
Yeah.
But
and if you build this nuclear reactor, send it to the no.
But at the end of
toe in that line as thin as possible.
The biggest risk I feel like for destruction is if America goes down and realizes that some of these places aren't inevitably going to catch us, and all of those places also have nukes.
Mm-hmm.
If we admit that at some point and are like more willing to like work on a scale that we're not the big dick boss in the room, realizing that we kind of have our own space over here, like it would take a lot to really come at America besides going at it internally. So it's like if it's gonna come down to like some of these other countries, we might have to let work with us in a different way, or we're all gonna be done.
We should embrace that, I think.
Well, you have to, because all these systems are kind of crumbling at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the uprisings in China. The Russia thing can't go on much longer, I don't think, if there's not like success over there. Iran's obviously where it's at, and isn't there some like kind of like stirrings in Saudi Arabia as well, but not as big as Iran. But I mean, a lot of these systems are kind of a little bit on edge. Gonna take a lot, but anyway.
Sorry, I'm looking at computer stuff, making sure we got.
It's okay. How long is this? We talked a lot.
I'm trying to see this one. We're at hour and a half right now. Doesn't feel that long. It feels way longer than we've actually done. Is what I should say. We've hit some topics.
We have.
Yeah, we did a lot.
We did a lot.
I'm trying to think.
This is great. I love this. I could do this for hours.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Like literally, we can hit stream on Twitch and start technically making money.
It's Conspiracies on Twitch.
I'll start doing the steps to make the nuclear reactor. Yeah. So first, you're going to want to go to Ukraine. It's not an easy time to get there, but you can find decommissioned uranium in some place, and you're going to want to get a lot of that and mail it back to yourself in the United States.
Do you guys look at the I whenever I'm like, am I alone in this world? I look at the live flights maps, so you can see all the planes that are in the air.
Oh, that's really cool.
Going anywhere. And then I was like looking, and it was completely blank over North Korea, and guess where else?
Ukraine.
Yes.
That's kind of so weird.
Yeah.
And a lot of Russia, and a lot of the forward front, and then Moscow's busy.
It's about to be.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. This winter's not going to be good. We've said it before on the podcast. I don't know if you agree with this, Mike, but the Ukraine's been really big dick in Russia all year, and we're going into winter, and they knocked out a lot of their grid. Like, stuff might start going south soon.
In Ukraine. Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, it's bound to go south soon. I think, like, we're artificially propping up, like a poke in the eye resistance. Like, I'm firmly like,
look at that.
Wow.
They said set up a no-fly zone, and they did.
Yeah, wow. Holy shit.
Belarus is basically dead.
I'd be nervous if I was in Moldova right now.
Yeah, right at it. There's only one flight going. Look at what's that
also
flight up there?
interesting to see like who's
Russia.
Like
there.
Look at these 3 flights. They've only sent 3 flights over Siberia.
Damn.
That's insane. And then like you look at Europe or you look at like you go to LA and it's
too many. Yeah, way too many. Where are they all going? Hawaii? Those are all going to be going Hawaii.
Straight line.
Yeah. They probably stop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Where are they going south?
Everyone was watching White Lotus.
Where are they going? Follow those
Fiji,
planes
yeah.
Oh.
Australia. Probably stop.
That's gonna.
Isn't this so fun?
It is, but
this is like the most fun thing to look at. And then
this one going through the Bering Strait too.
Boop, boop, boop. That's not.
Wait, go back. Go back to us. How many
years ago? Korean Peninsula.
Oh wow! Look at that. A lot of China's dark too.
Not really.
Actually, this is
north of Korea.
Like, yeah,
well, there isn't much out that.
Yeah, this is all boonies.
It's crazy.
What's going on?
It's crazy that Mongolia is. Are they landing? Jeez.
I mean, that's the final frontier, I'm assuming. But anyway, what were we just saying before that?
Something about Ukraine.
Oh yeah, the
because
winter's not going to be good for it. I think I hate to say it might not be good.
Winter's not going to be good for anyone.
I've been rooting for Russia since the beginning of this. So yeah,
don't they have the pipeline to Germany still? Like, isn't like a lot of Western Europe still relying on that Russian pipeline? And America allegedly bombed it.
Nord Stream that they blew up.
Yeah.
I guess
They?
so. that we blew up.
Someone blew it up. No one knows, but
No idea who.
But winter's not gonna be good, and they've been like all hyping it up, being like, "Oh, we've been killing them." I don't know, man. It's not gonna be good. Anyway,
There was a video of some Russian soldiers being like, "They're sending us to die. We need to revolt." I was like, "Oh, that's hot." That's like, and it was happening in like October. Do you guys know anything about the October Revolution? That's some hot shit right there. Sorry.
Was it real?
Yeah, I mean,
was it U.S. propaganda? Because there's a lot of.
But like, yeah, I think there's like a good population in Russia where they're skeptical of Putin. They've been skeptical. They've been skeptical since Stalin. The thing about Stalin was, hey, they keep us safe from the U.S. And that's the whole thing with the U.S. being like, you know, Barry Goldwater is a little crazy, but you know, if it's gonna keep us safe from the Ruskies, I might vote for him.
Yeah,
like there's a side to both stories in this sense. So they were like, okay, keep us safe, and then they saw that shit happen in the 80s and 90s, and they're like, oh, the government fucking sucks extra now. And then same thing's happening here, but at a different rate. So like they've always been skeptical in Russia, where it's like, yeah,
I just don't think they're against Putin as much.
But like at least they're being outright about it. Whereas the U.S. liberalism is so like, oh no, we care about you. We're literally saying it, but they don't.
No.
They say it outright that we care about you. We care about these disenfranchised people, and they don't do anything, which is
so it's like at the end of the day,
yeah.
I just don't. I think people question it over there, but I'm sure there's definitely a lot of like. I heard a lot of the older Russian population's all about it. It's kind of more the younger kids that are like, "Can we not do this?" Like, granted, those are the ones who are actually fighting, but I don't know. I just don't think the whole country's like up against Putin. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
I think it's the last place
don't
realistically that they can flex at all in the region. And
yeah,
at the end of the day, they are a world power, and Putin's whole thing is being this like strong guy. If he kind of lets Ukraine go into NATO, go into EU, not kind of do anything, he probably would have been in trouble realistically over there.
I agree. Like,
so it's like you put him into this corner, and now it's also like I think a small part of why it's going on for so long is we're trying to get rid of all these stockpiled old weapons that we're trying to replace with new shit for the next thing. Like, we're also showing like, hey, like this is the stuff we're willing to get rid of. Imagine what we have.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's more what's happening. And I guess they're testing some new shit too over there. They're like giving fucking Ukrainians all this stuff. Like Joe said at the beginning of the war, it's like going to turn into what the Spanish Civil War was before World War II. Like, realistically, it's kind of just like
God.
At the end of the day, we're on that path. We're really good. We're good at following that path that was set 100 years ago for the same exact thing to happen.
Are you guys going to fight in World War III? If it happens while we're able-bodied?
Until I have kids of my own, I think it would be hard for me not to go over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be very tough because it's like,
want weapons
if I'm like,
and training.
if it happens like now, if it happens like now, I have to. Like, I'm only 25. Like, you can't be the 25-year-old that doesn't go.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, but do you want to be that one?
Go to Canada.
I've said this before. If my girlfriend ever wants a political career, me dying in World War III might help boost her in the polls. So it can turn into this Beau Biden kind of situation where like it's a little sympathy for when she's doing Hillary Clinton shit.
You got to get married though. So
no.
So it's Brooklyn Gavin.
No, she would never. I don't think she's taken. She would. I'm not talking about this on this podcast. Take it off. But anyway. Yeah, no, I think the Ukraine is going to be bad this winter. People they might start losing, guys, and if they don't, I'm still a little worried about the nukes. Because
I don't know that that's going to happen.
A
tactical nuke, yeah.
But granted,
don't forget we use those.
We used a Moab in. Didn't we use one in
Iraq
or something like that? Which is basically what a tactical nuke is, but without the radiation.
What about the fucking Johnny Appleseed thing? Didn't we either did or almost accidentally fired one of those on the line during the Cold War, like in the 50s?
Oh, that happened. That happened on both sides multiple times.
There are ballistic missiles with like depleted uranium that were shot into Korea and Vietnam. Like they're like, this is depleted. It's not going to be like it's
gonna
not
be
gonna
that
boom, it's not
bad.
gonna be that, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be a boom, but it's
Well,
gonna be a
it-
little added thing because the the whole reason Shinzo Abe got killed was because they in Japan have always been doing this fucked up like Nazi scientist shit. They would test on Korean and Chinese like
yeah, they were not good during World War II.
POWs.
Yeah.
And the U.S. was like, okay, like, what'd you learn? What'd you guys learn here?
We're so good at that.
And when they were like restabilizing the East as China's growing, they're like, Japan, what do you got for us? Let's fuck up Korea some more or whatever, or like let's get Korea back. They used all like that Squad 7. I forget what it was.
Yeah,
It was like 731 or something like that. There's like a squad that would just do like insane, brutal, disgusting experiments on human beings, like test people's like rates of hypothermia, how many cuts like people can survive.
They put like the
just
salt water in people's veins and stuff like that.
Yeah, just obscene.
Do you think we didn't do that though?
Horrible
Is
things.
pizza here? Oh, dangerous, dude! You're the man.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to Megan.
thank
I
you
have-
so much.
Appreciate it.
This is my wife, guys, for the podcast. I'm lucky. Love you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
I just put a Zen in. Damn.
That's awesome.
You're fine. You're fine.
But no, I wasn't saying because I was just saying because.
Because of pizza.
Yeah, I think to say we didn't do that stuff though. Do you think we ever did that stuff? The
What's
POWs and stuff?
I don't know. Here's the thing.
Guantanamo Bay?
Guantanamo Bay is a bad
Bay,
look.
that-
But
like,
we
I
weren't
was
doing
gonna
that for
say
medical
back
research.
then.
We were doing that for torture research. I
Abu
think.
Ghraib?
Back then.
Yeah, Abu
Oh,
Ghraib
yeah.
is not a great look. Iraq is a really bad look. Iraq is a really bad look for the U.S.
Definitely did that shit.
Yeah.
Check out Blowback, guys. The first season is Saddam and Abu Ghraib and the Highway of Death and all that stuff. Call of Duty, making the
Russians.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
We'd never do that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a. Iraq is definitely going to look really bad, I think, in the future.
Did you see the video of Bush?
I was just gonna quote it. I was gonna say illegal war of Iraq. I mean the Ukraine.
Oops.
No.
In Iraq.
Well, yeah, it was so fucking bad.
So like, what's the word?
Because he's like, dude, you're not going to get me. He's not going to get tried for those.
Can't
I
he-
also don't even think it was him, dude. I really do buy the conspiracy it was Cheney. And it was like Bush had
yeah.
no idea what was going on.
Listen to this podcast. It was Rumsfeld.
Yep.
Rumsfeld had been propping him up, like Saddam, as like he's our guy. Since Reagan, he was a Reagan, like CIA person, and Reagan loved the CIA. So like Jimmy Carter fucks up with Iran, and they're like, we got to do something. We got to get Iranians off our back somehow. And it's like Saddam, want some bombs? Want some? I don't think they gave him the gas, but
Yeah.
I think he went and got the gas himself. But hey,
What
Yeah.
gas?
the mustard gas.
Yeah, he
Was there mustard gas?
He used mustard
Oh.
gas
against like
his
that was
own
like
people.
yeah.
I thought they didn't find any.
Iraqis.
They didn't find any.
No,
after.
they didn't find weapons of mass destruction. They did. He did gas people in the 70s, though. The thing about Saddam was that he was America's poster boy because he took out like communists. The Ba'ath Party took out communists in Iraq. That's the whole thing, is that the U.S. does not want communists to prop up because that means you cannot exploit this land for capital gain.
Truman Doctrine.
Yep. And then, Truman Doctrine shit. And that's the same thing with Cuba. That's the same thing with Vietnam. It's like, no, we want to own our own country. Hell no. You gotta put Sigmund Rhee in charge, not Ho Chi Minh.
About Noriega. Down in Central
Sigmund
America.
Rhee.
Where was the one in Chile
I
too?
think.
Oh, Pinochet.
Yeah, Pinochet for Allende.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard of Cybersyn? Basically, the internet-run government. Chile did it in the 70s. Cybersyn, Sybersyn, Chile basically had these computer systems that you would walk into like a voting booth and be like, "What do you think about the government? What do you think about this?" And that's how you voted and shit. And it was a completely like they had obviously like representatives in a way, but like it was basically the first form of self-representative government, and they killed a school teacher over it.
Wait, who was this under?
Allende.
This was under Allende. Okay.
Allende's set up CyberSyn. Pinochet comes in as, the CIA is like, we can't have Chile be communist. And then Allende's like, you're not getting me, and zoinks himself before they get into his room in the palace or whatever.
Brutal.
That's Chile.
Yeah. So, rest in peace.
Rest in power. I gotta take a piss.
My lord. Yeah, the Iraq is definitely bad. And I want to watch the interview with Jon Stewart, Hillary Clinton, and then Condoleezza Rice or whatever.
I heard it was bad.
Really?
I heard it was like painfully bad. I heard it was like, because Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice are like two of like the worst human beings ever.
Yeah, not great people, yeah.
Like, oh my God. Now, I wanted to talk about, what was the Clinton one before he became president with like the real estate thing? White.
Oh, shit.
Where all those people turned up dead.
Oh, it's not White Castle, but it's something
White
like that.
Water. No, it's not White Water. It's White, fuck.
Yeah, and like all the other partners ended up dead or something like that, and they were like shot or some,
Yeah. Everyone committed suicide. Like, they're like, no, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, the Clintons have had a few.
They're who,
wild ones.
like, that's who House of Cards is totally after. Like, is Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I haven't finished the 6th season yet. I haven't watched the one where they write off Frank.
I heard that was bad too.
'Cause say what you will. Well, I haven't even gotten there. I haven't finished season 5 yet. But say what you will about Kevin Spacey. Not a great guy, but he's a great actor. I mean, that show, he played mainly probably because that role is semi-real because he's friends with like the royals and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember the thing he had when he was going down? He had like the royal crest on a mug and he was like doing the character Frank Underwood. And he's like,
oh, yeah.
You and I, we haven't talked in a while. And it's like, they were saying he was talking to like the royal family or Prince Andrew or whatever because to like get him off, which inevitably happened. He got off. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the crest part.
Yeah.
Wild. I believe it. Dude's a creep. Very good actor, though.
Very, well, he's a good actor because I think he's a creep.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things, like, all
Makes
those guys
sense.
are fucking good actors because they're
Who are we talking about?
unstable. Kevin
Spacey.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Any as someone who went to school for art, artists, and especially people who are like academically art, are insane. Academics are, I'm going to call out academics.
in general are normally weird.
Yeah. There's a need for academics in certain fields, but academia like needs to get checked, to be honest. They're like so up their own asses, especially when it's like you were saying it with the Harvard people, like when it's like $100,000 a year to go there. What are you really getting $100,000 worth of an education just because?
No, you're getting $100,000 worth of connections for when you're done.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of Yale kids who go to this open mic down in New Haven.
Ooh, that sounds
They go to
fun.
sometimes. I was asking them questions. I was like, so how many of you have been approached by the CIA already? Or is it like a senior year thing? Is it like, when does it happen? Let me know. I want to be in the room.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be waiting there with a pen gun and a knife.
Dude, I really want to. I don't know. I wish I could see behind the curtain a little bit. But I think it would melt your brain. I think to the extent of like how much it is, because like that's what I think happened to all these old people. Like my parents used to think I was wild for even questioning what happened on 9/11.
Oh my God!
And then,
how dare you?
Did they even watch it?
Well, no. Well, they were like they think that like, obviously there was more to the story or whatever,
Yeah.
but to like say that like the government had any knowledge or connection or like allowed it to happen, like you know what I mean? They thought was nuts. They thought the Iraq thing was nuts. Like, and then all of a sudden, like all this shit, like the election honestly spooked them.
Yeah.
It's like the COVID thing and then Epstein all at the same time, dude. Like
Yep.
a lot of people that age group went from like being like Reagan, American loving people, never questioning it, to like, oh, this is all a sham.
Dude,
The
Reagan.
same Reagan loving guy.
Yeah. It was me and my brother. We went to California in 2021, and the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library is in Simi Valley, and we went to visit it, and it's like awesome because you get to walk through like an old Air Force One that's in there, great view of the valley and shit. But then there is a hologram of Ronald Reagan that gives a speech. And
hologram.
He walks out like in front of this curtain.
Star Wars.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hello, my fellow Americans," and he gives this whole Reagan speech, and then this like tall blonde secretary with these long legs, a hologram also, walks out from the same curtain and goes, "Mr. President, you're needed at an important briefing," and he goes, "I have to go now. I'll be right back." And then he just exits off.
What a fucking actor.
And then the lights come on, and there's all these Midwesterners clapping with their It's the greatest thing ever. Like
So self aware.
Me and my brother are high as shit, sitting in the back, taking videos of it, laughing around. It was so funny. It was so good though. Oh my god. I asked our tour guide about Iran-Contra, and he did not have a lot to say on the matter.
What did we give him? What did we get?
Hey, what do you guys know about Gary Webb? Can you tell me? Can you tell me how about that car accident?
You mean Ronald Reagan's acting career?
Here's the swimsuit he wore in this.
Did you not see the swimsuit? Why are you asking questions about Contra?
Who's Rock Hudson? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude.
The deepest mentions.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, guys, I think we're like, what's 140 minutes? That's like
2 hours, 20 minutes. Right?
Jeez. Has it been 2 hours 20?
Seems like it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, we did kind of also start recording a little preamble, so there is some nonsense
There's
at the beginning.
definitely some stuff that can get cut.
Yeah.
Walking back and forth.
Damn, guys, we
Yeah.
went
Dude,
a while.
shout out to former CIA agent and now stand-up comedian, insider, Mike Massaro. Absolute legend.
Thanks for having me on.
Dude, absolutely.
It's been a long time coming.
Hell yeah. I want to leave one more tip. You guys can find anyone's home address, like any public figure, for example. If you know the city that they live in, which you can find on Wikipedia, and then you go to the voter registration database for that state, and you get their birth year, their date of birth off there, and just pick the richest zip code. You need the zip code. Just pick whatever the richest one is in that city, and then work your way out to poorer, and you'll eventually find their home address. And do with that whatever you want.
What an episode.
Thanks for listening. This was all a joke, by the way.
Yeah, it was all a bit.